Crisis for the geek kind. Top geek officials admit they underestimated the hipsters' defense capability. Join the geek revolution and save the galaxy. Geeks from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future. They're doing their part. Are you? Want to know more? Join Weeby Geeks and the Geek Revolution and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship. Listen to Weeby Geeks podcast on iTunes and Stitcher or online at weebygeeks.net. Weeby Geeks, your voice for the Geek Revolution. Want to know more?
Geek Speak, the definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Yes! 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 Yes!
Yes! Yes! You're listening to the 365Flicks podcast. That was Daniel Bryan again. Well, it's WrestleMania season, isn't it?
It is WrestleMania season, and I am the champ, so...
And you are the reigning, defending 365Flicks champion of the world.
Current champion of the world.
Just, you make the most of it, buddy. So this is the 365Flicks podcast. This is episode 32 and everything. We're excited to be here tonight.
Yeah. Bit of a thrown together show.
Yes, well, we were going to be recording this week anyway. It's midweek when we're recording. We, as anybody who's been listening to our Talking Heads weekly live episode, we didn't do this week. Our sort of co-host Haze has been ill with the walker virus.
Yeah.
So he's in his bed trying not to be a walker at the moment. Get well soon. So we decided to sort of mash up a show. So we're going to be talking about this week's episode of The Walking Dead. We're also going to be having a little bit of a cheeky wrestling theme. I finally got my wrestling podcast, Kev.
You have, but it came as a price. You did kind of have to settle to do a little bit of other things as well. You're not getting a full wrestling podcast.
Why? What do I have to do?
Well, we're doing the Talking Heads bit, and we're doing we're not just going to give you a full episode.
I didn't ask for a full. If you want a full wrestling episode, go to another damn wrestling show. We're not a wrestling
nice
podcast.
Little plug there.
I know,
nice
right?
Little plug there.
We're not a wrestling podcast. I didn't want a whole podcast on this. But yeah, so we're going to be doing our top 5 tonight, which is our top 5 wrestling intros. Kind of mixed it up a little bit. Kev is going to be doing his all-time favourites, and I'm going to be doing the newbies, or the current guys, just because, as Hobie said, we don't like to pick on each other, apparently.
Do we not?
Apparently so.
I thought we picked on each other all the time.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, we do.
He was high on Pez or some shit.
Yeah, Pez.
Yeah, bastards.
What the fuck's Pez?
We don't have
Pez
Pez in the UK, do we?
With the heads and they pop out and
I really don't see.
Did you not drop them when you were like 5?
Maybe it's an America thing. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're also going to be talking about a couple of other bits and pieces. I'm going to be recommending a TV show to Kev, which we'll come to later on. And I'm
throwing one your way as well. All
right.
A new section, a new segment, so to speak.
And also as part of the Kev's win of the 365 title, I've got to watch a shit movie, which Kev is going to be telling me about later on as well.
And
I gather.
And boy, is it a fucking peach.
Yeah.
It's a peach.
Yeah.
I'm possibly going to have to download it for you because I don't know where you'll get it. But trust me, this is like, I think it kind of transcends the Room sort of level.
Wow.
But I don't know.
Surely not.
I don't know if it's quite Biodome level. It's sort of in between Biodome and the Room.
See, the thing is, I actually quite, in a sick way, like the Room.
Right.
Like, you know, when I watched The Room, I was like, oh, I can't wait to talk about this movie. When I watched Biodome, I just wanted to throw up in my fucking mouth.
Well, yeah, there is that. And this movie is one of those out there batshit crazy movies. I've had it for a while now on the old Downy Loadies, and it took me a wee while to watch it, but I'd heard nothing but bad things about this movie, and morbid curiosity, I sat down and watched it, and I thought, boy, have I got the movie for you. And then, of course, when I became the 365Flicks champion of the world, I had to come up with something. I've decided that we get executive privileges now. If we are the current title holders, you get executive privileges on the show, which means you get to invoke something. So my first one is obviously the section we're going to be doing later. I'm invoking the... I've got a name for it, we'll talk about that later, the TV thing. And the second one is that I'm going to make you watch this movie and you're going to come back. Don't know what my third one is yet, though.
Well, to be fair, the movie thing was my idea.
Well, it was, but I'm stealing it.
That's fine. You just take somebody else's fucking ideas.
I can't think of three things.
Pass
so
it as your own, prick. So yeah, as part of winning the 365 title, that is something that we get to do every time there's a title defence. The loser has to. Basically,
we're just flogging a dead horse with a section that we've not done for a while.
Yeah, it's called rebranding, Kev. You've got to do these things.
Rebranding. Well, you do like a logo, so.
I do like a logo.
So tonight, yeah, we're gonna crack on with a little bit of news. We're going to do our talking head section, and we'll throw these other little bits in elsewhere, and then the top 5.
Yeah. So we're going to do a little bit of news first.
Considering we threw this episode together as of like 12 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah, but it's me. It just only took me a couple of seconds to think of some stuff.
You basically sat there, you got the message, and you were like, ooh, 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 wrestling.
I was actually walking Dexter when I went, ooh, 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 wrestling. Unfortunately, there was a guy walking towards me, and I went, ooh, 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 wrestling. He didn't appreciate it.
Well, if he doesn't appreciate it, just switch in music him.
Well, I would break my hip or something, though.
Yeah, probably.
I'm 36 in a minute, so...
You are a bit old.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fuck yourself. So, let's talk about the first bit of news, then.
Before we do go into the news, though, obviously we'll pimp out the... all the different things. We're on iTunes. That's the best place you can find us. If you do go on iTunes, if you do listen to us, if you're listening to us on iTunes right now, because I know that people are listening, so if you could just be so nice as to click that little rate and review at the side, really helps the show, because we're not exactly new, but we're damn sure noteworthy. Definitely.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. But don't worry if you're not on the Apple.
If you're not on the Apple,
you can also get us some third-party apps as well.
Because if you're anything like me, you'll have the Apple aids. I mean, my iPhone right now, oh my God, I can charge it all day, but see, as soon as I take it off that charge, I can literally see it drop 1%. Every second, 1%.
They all do that.
They can't all do that.
It's just to wind you up.
I think this is to wind me up, because literally, if my phone rings, I'm too scared to answer it because it'll die. And it'll be sat on 80%, the phone will ring, I'll answer it, and the phone will die. I've got Apple aids, that's what I've got.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Apple aids.
Fuck yourself.
Yeah, but we're on third-party apps, as the man over there says. We're on Satchel. I recommend if you're on an Android, get the Satchel app. It's so easy to use. It's so brilliant. And, of course, it's a partner. It's, what do you call it? It's like an affiliate of the Tangent Bound Network, which we are on. And you'll find quite a few Tangent Bound podcasts on there because we're all pimping that hard right now. Talking about the networks, segues all day.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the networks, we've got Tangent Bound, we're on Wicked Radio Network, we're on Geeky Antics Network Global, we're on Weeby Geeks, which you heard at the very start there. I still love that intro. It's still one of my favourite intros.
Cool. Yeah. Why can't we come up with a promo like that?
Our promo was pretty bad.
I like our promo.
I was listening to the Jock and Nerd today, and they played our promo, and I was sat there going, our promo's pretty fucking badass.
Yeah, but it's not as good as Weeby Geeks.
It's not as good as Weeby Geeks, because they're like, do you want to know more?
Do you want to know more?
Will we put that in ours? It's like the Starship Troopers thing. Do you want to know more?
I could do my Irish.
Don't do your Irish.
Sure. Do you want to know more?
It's kind of getting to that point that with your Irish accent, you are becoming Brigger.
Am I?
And while we're on that, I absolutely love the fact that those boys now say shite.
Yeah.
There's nothing makes me laugh more than an American saying shite. And it's how they put the accent on it as well when they say it.
Did you see he posted a thing on our Facebook before British translations or something like that?
All right, no, yeah, I never saw that.
That was quite funny. But yes, I do quite like that they're saying that. I like to think we're spreading the British word.
Oh yeah, we'll cross that pond. And of course, our British home, nerdly.co.uk. Those guys have been great to us. I love that website. Nice little reviews. The odd movie review that you might not pick up.
They do a lot of movie reviews, yeah.
I really, it's a good website to be on. I'm happy we're on there. And of course, we're on there with our good pals, Hobie. Hobie so American. With that said, would you like to crack on with some news?
Sure, why not?
Seeing as that derailed your news section there.
Yeah, you did interrupt a little bit.
Yeah, but you've got to tell people where we are and how they can find us.
All right. And we're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, yeah, but, it's standard.
Yeah.
We're on the Facebooks and the Twitters. Check the 365Flicks, and you'll probably get a surly response.
A surly response.
Surly response.
Wow. Okay.
Surly.
Anyway, have you seen the Darth Maul Apprentice fan film?
You showed me this.
Wow.
I didn't watch it all. I've watched the first 5 minutes. Absolutely loving it. I'm loving the Minority Report opening with Darth Maul and on all the screens.
Mm-hmm.
I was loving that, but I'm assuming it just gets better.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. Honestly, I watched it while I was having my coffee. It tells a story, and it's like 17, 18 minutes long. It tells a story. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
And the guy who's playing Darth Maul looks amazing. I don't think it's Ray Park.
I'll not be Ray Park.
It could have been.
Although, what else is Ray Park doing?
I don't think it's him. I didn't check the cast, but it looks amazing.
There did seem to be a lot of production value in it.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it like? Was there a Kickstarter involved, or was it just some guy?
It's a proper production company.
Yeah,
but it's a fan film. It's great.
See, when you put it on the Facebook, I instantly thought it was another Adi Shankar. I thought it was one of his because he done the Power Rangers thing.
Oh yeah,
remember?
yeah.
And I love all his shit. I love everything he's done. And I thought, oh sweet, he's done like a fucking Darth Maul thing. How cool would that be?
It's not him. I believe the guy's name is Sean Boo.
Boo as in boo.
B-U.
Like buh.
He's a film student in Germany.
All right, that's pretty cool.
It is very cool. If anybody doesn't know what we're on about, well,
Yep.
you should be following our Facebook page because you would have seen it.
Yeah. Why are you not one of the?
Come on, it'll not follow itself.
Why are you not one of the 10 people following us on Facebook?
We've got lots of more than that.
We're doing okay.
But if you do want to watch it, just go to the YouTubes, type in Darth Maul Apprentice or Darth Maul fan film. It's right there. It's about 17 minutes long. Oh, fuck me, it's good.
There's a lot of good stuff on YouTube. Like, I'm coming across quite a few different things.
You know what I've been watching? I mentioned this to you the other day. It's if you look for a channel called Last Week Tonight. And
it's that British guy.
It's John Oliver is his name.
From the Community.
Yeah. He hosts like a late night talk show, and he's funny as fuck.
What kind of style is it like? What is it? Is it just like what's that thing with Jon Stewart? Is it like that? The Daily Show. Is it the Daily Show?
I don't know. I never watched that.
Jon Stewart. He does that news.
I know he is. He kind of he helped Seth Rollins win the title.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on.
Is that how you know who Jon Stewart is?
I don't watch his fucking show.
That is actually how you know who Jon Stewart is.
I was aware of him. I never watched
brilliant.
his show.
That's cool. I'm happy with that.
Don't question me. I'll just stick with my Graham Norton and my Jonathan Ross. Thank you very much. British. Yeah. Aye. So what was I saying? So yeah, watch the Darth Maul thing. I have been watching that. The John Oliver.
He's funny. He's
very,
good
very
in
funny.
Community. He's really good in Community.
Yeah, next bit of news. I don't know if you'll be asked about this. I'm quite excited about it. The Tomb Raider reboot movie is going to be following the pattern of the games, which I'm happy about because I've not played the second one yet, but the first game is fucking awesome.
I got like halfway through the first game. I stopped playing it because I don't know why I stopped playing it. I think I just started playing something else. But it was really good. If that's the way they want to go with the movie,
I'll be happy with that.
Perfect way to go.
You know what? It's one of the few times where you kind of think, a reboot of it, which, I mean, I suppose it does need.
Yeah.
The last Tomb Raider movie we got was Cradle of Life.
It was rife.
Cradle of Life.
It was Cradle of Rife.
Shut up. Which was fucking awful, so we do need a reboot.
Yes.
It's one of the few times that we do need a reboot. So if it follows the pattern of the games, then I'm happy with that.
I'm alright with that, yeah. I like the sound of that because that first game is pretty good. I haven't played the second one yet, and I probably won't get around to it.
I will get around to it. I'm not really gaming all that much lately.
Is there any news on possible directors, or...?
I don't think so.
Not yet? Nothing yet?
Don't think so, no.
Well, that's not very good. You've got to come at me with the
well, if they've not got a director yet, what do you want from me? Would you like us to direct it? We'll direct it.
Just make one up.
Steven Spielberg.
Right.
So next bit, a couple of DC and Marvel bits of news. First one, J.K. Simmons cast as Jim Gordon.
Buzzing. The man, he's jumped ship.
Except, I wanted him back as J. Jonah Jameson.
Why would you be in another Marvel property when you?
Because he was
DC
awesome
property?
as J. Jonah.
But he's going to DC, so he'll be fine.
Fuck him.
He'd be fine. He would be. Like,
But he was awesome as J. Jonah.
he's literally moving to the better comic book movie company.
Well, really?
Tickets on sale now.
I saw that before.
Yeah. I am working on the Thursday night of release till 10 o'clock, and I'm tempted just to go straight to the first showing. If I can get tickets for it, which I probably won't, because, it's Batman vs Superman, so everybody's going to be going.
They're not, are they?
But the way I see it, I reckon I could get like 3 showings in by the weekend.
Well, watch it 3 times by the weekend?
Yep.
Why the fuck would you do that to yourself?
Because it's going to be awesome. And did I tell you, I don't know if I can say it, we maybe have a crossover in the pipelines. Did I mention it? A podcast crossover with some good buddies of ours.
You did mention
to talk
it, yeah.
about Batman
I'm
Superman.
excited about that.
I'm looking forward to that. I won't say who it is. We'll keep that as a little creamy surprise for everyone. Creamy surprise? Really?
That's... Okay, so next bit of news. Bit of Marvel news. Disney Marvel Studios has said that they aren't going to be making any R-rated movies.
And why would they? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, they're just showing that they don't need to be producing an R-rated version of it just to jump on the bandwagon because one movie worked. Like Batman vs Superman is doing.
Fuck you.
Fuck you too.
Only the DVD, only the Blu-ray. Only the Blu-ray is going to be R-rated, alright?
Is there a need for it? Is there any need for that? No, there's not, is there?
There's not.
bloody not any need for that. They're just, it worked with Deadpool, so they're like, ooh, money.
You're only saying that because DC, if Marvel was saying this, then you'd be like, ooh,
No,
I like that idea. How original.
When I read that before about Marvel saying, no, we're not doing that shit, I thought, good on you.
No, I am
Fucking
100%...
DC bandwagon fucks.
I'm 100% in agreement with you. I'm glad Marvel's not doing it because, to be fair, they don't need to. Let Netflix do their thing with the brutal as fuck sitcom TV shows that they're making. Daredevil and fucking White Iron Fist. Because that seems to be a big thing right now.
With what?
Iron Fist. They've cast Iron Fist now.
Do you mean Iron Fist?
Iron Fist. They've cast Iron Fist.
Have they?
It's Finn Jones from Game of Thrones.
I don't know who you
I can't actually remember who he played, but it's Finn Jones from Game of Thrones anyway. So there's like this big uproar about them casting a white guy to play Iron Fist, even though in the comic books he is white. But because he's a martial artist, people seem to think that we should be updating things. And, with all the Oscar so white malarkey and, we can't drop the issue. We have to make it a political hot potato every 2 minutes. Because he's a martial artist in the comic book, people seem to think they should be making him an Asian or a Chinese person.
But white people can kick too. Just look at
Mark Dacascos.
Or Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon 2.
Okay, we'll go on there. Yeah. Keanu Reeves.
Exactly.
He's a good kicker and puncher, so he'd be fine. I saw this, and I saw that people were making a big issue of this. The people saying this, are they not technically being racist? Saying that because he's a karate expert, he should be a Chinese person?
That is racist.
Is that not racist? In my eyes, it is.
Oh, you could say anything's racist. You could say that this show's racist because we've not got a black guy sitting on the couch next to us.
Yes, we have. We just don't let them speak.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, like they're making a huge thing about this, and I don't like it. I've never read the comic books, but from what I know of what people are saying, he's a white guy in the books.
Right.
So why all of a sudden change his ethnicity just because you're making a TV show about him?
That sounds annoying.
It is annoying.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. It's just proper pisses me right off. I hate it. That's neither here nor there. It's just people are doing this thing. I don't know what my point was. I went off on a tangent because that's what we do. Next bit of news.
Sticking on DC, Supergirl's been renewed for season 2.
Still not watching it.
I'm excited by that.
Yeah.
I'm liking it. It's better than Gotham.
But you're not watching Gotham anymore.
No, I'm not.
You're not watching
Well,
it.
there's a reason for that.
You need to be watching it again.
No, I really don't.
You need to pick it up again. Remember when you were going to delete The Flash and I told you to stick with it?
I did watch some of The Return of Gotham.
Yep. You need.
And then, no, it's crap.
It's
crap.
It's not crap.
It is crap.
It's just not the Batman and it's not the Gotham City that you know. It's good. It's so good. The Riddler is absolutely amazing.
No, he's annoying. I'm not watching it. You're wrong.
Right, no bother.
Mm-hmm. I am liking Supergirl though.
I am liking.
That's mature, isn't it?
Real mature. So when's the Flash going into it? Because it really needs that.
I think that's maybe at the start of season 2. I guess I don't know.
Right.
It doesn't need that. It doesn't need it.
I'm not going to watch it anyway. If you're not watching Gotham, I'm not watching that.
That's fine with me. I didn't ask you to.
So, you know how we're going to make each other watch a TV show? Yours might be Gotham.
Veto. Yeah, so speaking of TV shows.
Oh, I like it.
Ken, never mind. I didn't just call Kev Ken. That was Scottish for you Ken. Ken?
Yeah, don't explain that.
That's mad. House of Cards, season 4.
Yeah, you watching it?
I've finished it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
I fucking finished it in about 3 days.
Quite good going.
Oh man, I couldn't stop watching it. It's fucking so good.
I never started series 2, if I'm honest.
You've not started? I thought you were into that.
I've done series 1 and I've done it in like quite rapid succession, but it's one of those shows. I know you've just binged like the new series, but I can't binge that show.
Right.
As much as I love Kevin Spacey, and as much as I could listen to his voice all day long, and when he does the monologues to the camera, he's just on point. He's amazing. It's one of those shows I cannot binge. I need to watch maybe 2 or 3 episodes, go away. So I never got around to series 2 yet. That makes me feel like Jeff. He's all like, never watched Walking Dead. He watched like the first episode or something, and he's never caught up.
He said so. Rick woke up in hospital.
It kind of makes me feel a bit like that. I'll get to it. Is that something I really need to rectify?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're not going to do any spoilers or anything,
No.
but yeah, it's fucking great.
He's running for president now, isn't he?
He is president.
He is president.
Yeah.
What?
But no spoilers.
Before series 4 or...
You need to get back into that.
I was enjoying it. It was just one of those things that heavy going. It was not heavy going, but it was the same as The West Wing. I couldn't binge The West Wing either.
So did you not feel gripped by House of Cards?
I was gripped by it, but it just I can only do 2 or 3 episodes at a time, and then I need to go and do something else.
Fair enough. I recommend that you watch it, though. I recommend everybody watches it.
I'll catch up.
Because it's bloody good, like. So, yeah, next bit. Have you got any, by the way?
Not really, no. Just, I see that Jenna Malone's been cut from Batman vs Superman. They've cut her scenes out.
Who's that?
They've done a rogue on her. She was rumoured for the longest time that she was going to play the female Robin. For the longest time, that was the rumour. And then
Jesus.
That got squashed. They never had her on IMDb as anything. They didn't really have a name for her or anything, so everybody was like, well, who's she going to be? And it was like this big thing that they still thought she was maybe going to be female Robin from Dark Knight Returns, the Frank Miller version.
I know what you mean. I've read it.
That was where they were supposedly going to go with it, but now she's been cut from the movie, so it doesn't fucking matter. Much like Anna Paquin in X-Men Days of Fuck Knows What, she's going to be in the Blu-ray version.
Right. So she's going to get her tits out, that's why it's...
She might get her tits out, aye.
Or she's just like, oh, god damn it, and that's why.
Wouldn't that be good, though? Like, if for ages she was rumoured to be the female Robin, and really she's just a stripper. They're like, when Batman and Superman are fighting, they're doing like the mass destruction of Man of Steel, and Superman throws Batman through a strip club, and you get to see Jenna Malone's tits for like 2 seconds, and then that's her scene. I'd be alright with that.
I don't know who that is.
Jenna Malone. She was in Donnie Darko. She was the girl in Donnie Darko who Muckle fancied Donnie. I can't think what else. I think she was in Sucker Punch as well.
Anyway, next bit of news. So the Han Solo Origin movie, or Han Solo Oranges, as we're going to call it, is going to also include Chewbacca's origin, or orange.
Well, you can't really tell that story without Chewie, can you?
Well, you can. Surely
Chewie
had a life debt, so he went.
Wow,
that was god awful. I'm really fucking.
Was that Scooby Doo or Chewie? I'm not sure.
Fuck you.
If it was Scooby Doo, you did a good job.
I went. How are you? There you go, Irish Chewie. Bang, boom.
Bam, what?
Anyway, you could do that. You could do that if you wanted to, but
yeah,
I'm okay with that.
I'm alright with that. I don't really want to see a story about Han Solo without Chewie.
I don't really want it to be Han Solo Oranges.
Well, it's going to be oranges, isn't it? What else are they going to do?
Just have a Han Solo movie. Just have him flying about with Chewie, like tearing shit up and
couple of space pirates
shooting people first, etc.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with
cool.
that.
I'd be alright with
that.
You
don't need oranges.
You're loving that, aren't you?
Yeah.
We did actually get a comment on Twitter. Did you see it? From a podcast that I've started listening. I think I got you to listen to them as well. Nerd on Nerd.
You did.
And one of the guys on that was basically saying that he loved the Deadpool review. He's going to use Wolverine oranges from now on.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, I loved their episode. I think they just put one up this week. I've not listened to it yet, but I loved their episode about the D&D.
Oh, they do a bigger shtick. Well, not a shtick, because it's just like a story about this week. They talk about the Oscars, but then they talk about D&D again, and I was just sitting there, I was giggling away like a bastard.
That was really good.
Basically, the one who does the dungeon master, who and his mate wants to do Carlos the Dwarf.
Mm-hmm. When he was doing the accent for the dwarf, that's when I was walking along, walking the dog. I was fucking pissing myself laughing.
He's basically saying that he's going to let him into the game and all that, and he's like, but not if he's only going to come in to try and ruin it.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like, well, no. He's like, why would I do that? And oh man, you've got to listen to it. It's a good episode anyway. They do some Oscar talk, some quite interesting Oscar talk, because they're kind of like basically saying that one of them's basically saying that the Oscars isn't relevant anymore.
Well, I quite agree.
No, I don't agree with that at all. I think it's like
it's not relevant anymore.
Of course, it's still
it's
relevant.
Fucking not.
It is.
If it was relevant, then they would have a superhero category and a.
Why would they though?
Because have you seen the fucking lineup of the superhero movies that are coming out?
That's what
I won't lie to you, but there are a
wants.
few fucking superheroes being released. Why isn't there a best superhero movie?
Because you're not going to have a category at the Oscars, the most prestigious awards ceremony of the year, steeped in tradition.
It's no BAFTAs, is it?
Voted for by 90-year-old white guys. They're not watching superhero movies.
Well, then that's how they're out of touch and not relevant, because we are!
They're still relevant, and they're still very relevant.
No, they're not. Fuck them.
If they start doing a superhero category, as you call it...
Not necessarily a superhero category.
It becomes the MTV Awards.
But you're not going to get a superhero movie. You're not going to get Ant-Man nominated for Best Picture, so why can't you have another...
And why would you?
That's what I'm saying. So why can't you have another category that... You know, so
Not-
you can have all your artsy-fartsy, wanky fucking The Artist bloody movies in Best Picture that nobody's fucking watching, and have a category for movies that people are actually going to see.
Because then it's the MTV Awards.
Fuck the MTV Awards and fuck the Oscars and fuck you. Next, Sharknado 4 news. Gary Busey is going to be in it.
I'd be tempted to
Play
watch
the
it.
Daniel Bryan thing again.
I'd be tempted to watch it with Gary Busey in it. I would actually.
Oh, they showed a picture of him before. He does not look well.
Which one?
Or perhaps normal, I don't know.
Which one's Gary Busey again? The one from 48 Hours?
He played the villain in Lethal Weapon 2.
Right, aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Who's the other one? The one that was in Tropic Thunder?
Nick Nolte?
Aye. Gary Busey's fucking... He doesn't look good at all. He was the one on Big Brother, wasn't he? And he was totally fucking
I don't watch
spaced
that
out.
shit, Kev.
He was a space cowboy.
They showed like a picture. It's going to be set apparently 5 years from the end of Sharknado 3. I don't know why.
I've not seen any of them.
Well, you should.
Don't talk to me about plot-wise or 5 years after when I haven't watched any of them.
It's an intricate plot. You need to know these
it's
things.
fucking sharks getting thrown around by a tornado. It's fucking not.
Yeah, there's also a woman with a saw thing for a hand.
Is that Tara Reid?
Yeah.
It's
Awesome. It's awesome. Right, okay, when Sharknado 4 airs in July on Sci-Fi Channel, you're coming down to mine, get a load of Magners down with you.
I think I'm going to need it.
Oh, you can't watch that shit sober. No, don't do that. It's like when I went to watch Biodome and you said, make sure you've got beer in your hand when you do this. When Sharknado 4 airs in July, you're fucking getting your arse down to my house and we're going to watch it with drink. We'll do an instant reaction to it or something like that for the podcast.
We could do a commentary for it.
We'll do a commentary for it. You need to watch these movies. They're fucking awesome in a really, really shit way.
I draw the line in certain places.
Oh, man, it's great.
Sharknado's got like 6 lines under it.
But you've got Gary Busey in there. And
It does seem to be attracting quite a lot of stars, though, doesn't it?
well, you had Jedward in the last one.
Well, you see that right there
you
is
go.
like the pinnacle. That is the pinnacle.
And yet, I think, did Jedward survive? I think Jedward survived. Kelly Osbourne got her head torn off, I believe.
As it should be.
Was that the second one? I forget. But yeah, you need to watch these movies. They're great. Yeah, I think that's about it.
You did have one more thing, and I'm glad you don't want to talk about it, because I'd rather talk about a different trailer. You were going to bring up Ghostbusters.
Oh, fucking Ghostbusters.
I'm not talking about Ghostbusters, because that movie's got fucking hell on earth written all over it. It's a steaming pile of shit before it even comes out, man. I've got no interest in the Ghostbusters movie. None of those women are funny. I cannot be bothered with fucking Ghostbusters.
The only one that I've actually seen in the movie probably is Kristen Wiig. I think was she not in...
She's in loads of stuff.
I think she did something on it doesn't matter. Move on.
She
was in something with it had Tommy Maguire in it and Haley Joel Osment.
Wow.
And Will
That's a
Ferrell. No, it was a
stellar
TV
cast.
show, and it was a TV show, and it was trippy as fuck,
right,
and it was
aye.
really, really
Aye.
funny and weird and really weird.
I think I know what you're on about, but I can't think of the name.
Neither can I. But I think she was in that, and she was really funny in that.
But while we're on trailers,
Did
you see the trailer I put on our Facebook for a movie called Hardcore Henry?
I did.
That shit looks fucking...
That does look good, but
It's intriguing as shit, that is.
I wouldn't want to watch that shit in the IMAX.
Oh, no, you're
I would
watching
be
that.
spewing my fucking ringer.
You're not watching that in IMAX.
Or in 3D as well. I think,
So basically, it's a movie called Hardcore Henry, and it seems like it's going to be entirely first person, isn't it? Like, you've got the first person point of view. So, like, when he's running with the hands, you actually see the hands. Oh, man, it's like when Carl Urban went all Doom in the movie Doom, and, like, it took first person, and that was quite good.
I like that.
But this is like a whole movie of that. Not only that, but Sharlto Copley's in it from District 9. Fucking prawns, that guy.
Awesome, yeah.
Tim Roth's got a role in it.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know who the fuck they're playing. I don't know who the main guy is. I watched this trailer, and it was like Crank, but first-person view. It looks batshit crazy.
It does, yeah.
But like you say, you ain't watching that in the IMAX, because you will be spewing.
Even in a normal cinema screen, I think take a sick bag with you.
I would possibly suggest that, definitely.
But fuck Ghostbusters.
Yeah, no, fuck Ghostbusters.
No, we're not even going to waste any time speaking about it. I did watch it. I'm a big fan of Ghostbusters, the proper Ghostbusters. And before anybody fucking calls us sexist, it's nothing to do with that whatsoever. I've got nothing against female Ghostbusters, but this fucking Paul Feig guy...
Aye, he just keeps making movies for his wife, basically.
He's a fucking douchebag.
He's married to Melissa McCarthy.
Is he?
Every movie he's ever directed...
I didn't know that.
Every movie he directs has got Melissa McCarthy in it. I'm just not interested in this. And you know what it is? It maybe is her. Maybe that's my whole gripe with it. Because Kristen Wiig, as you say, she can be funny when she wants to be. I'm not taken by her. The other two, I couldn't even tell you what their names are. But I see Melissa McCarthy's name and I have the same reaction that Brigger has to Kevin James's name. I just can't do it.
I agree with you. As soon as I see her name on something, I mean, I know that Brigger loves the King of Queens.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I couldn't be bothered with that at all. It's just... Ugh.
Do you think that would be his favourite TV show, like a crossover between King of Queens and Mike and Molly?
I think he probably prefers that shit over, like, 24 or Game of Thrones or anything
likely.
like that.
That's like Emmy-worthy TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all
The
I
Spoils
really have.
Before Dying.
The what?
I think that's what the name of the show was.
Oh,
The
right,
one we were
aye.
speaking about. So, yeah, that's the news.
That's pretty much the news. I do want to quickly plug something. I got a direct message on the old Tweety Bird from the guys at A Place to Hang Your Cape, AP2HYC. Basically, I'm gonna mention this. It's probably going to be too late by the time you hear about it, but they're doing this thing called a thunderclap. Have you ever heard of thunderclap?
I have not.
According to Anthony off the Jock and Nerd, there's something like really dirty in it if you go to the Urban Dictionary. For the purposes of this show, and for the purposes of trying to promote this a little bit, even though I think it's going to be too late, A Place to Hang Your Cape are asking people to support them on Thunderclap. If they get like 100 people to support them, and it goes through your Twitter feed, on the 11th, a tweet gets sent out to all those 100 people. They automatically send out a tweet. You don't have to do anything once you've signed up. And it goes to all your followers and all your supporters. I think right now they're sitting at like 55, and they've got like a social reach of something like 100,000 people.
Right.
So it's kind of like starting a trend. You know how you get those trends on the TV and that, like X Factor, hashtag X Factor or something like that. They'll get like hashtag A Place to Hang Your Cape. It'll go out to all those people. It'll go out to all the people that they follow and all that. And it's a really good thing, but it's a good way of getting the word out in one go, if you know what I mean. It's quite interesting. They asked us to sponsor it, not sponsor it, but they asked us to sign up and to promote them. So I signed up for them. It'll go out to all our followers on the day that it goes out, and it's pretty damn cool, and I hope they do really well. That's all. I just wanted to let people
fair play.
Let people know what it is, because I kind of want to know what a thunderclap is in Anthony's world.
Do it right now. Go on.
We'll do it as we do the next section. Or is that something we could send to Jeff and Jeff could Google it?
I don't think they do that anymore, do they?
No, not since you sent them Clumsy Seagull.
Yeah, I think we kind of ruined it for them, didn't we? Or I kind of ruined it for them.
I think it was kind of like, oh my god. You did temporarily break the show for a minute when they read that. A place to hang your cape. Thanks for reaching out to us. We would do anything to support those guys.
Of course, oh yeah, definitely.
The Jock and Nerd approved, so we'll go down that rabbit hole. And I hope this does really well for them. I hope it gets the word out, and I hope nothing but good things for this. So, what's the next section, buddy?
We're going to do top 5, or we're going to do Walking Dead?
We'll cover The Walking Dead first, and then we'll finish off on a high note with our top 5s.
Right. Okay, so we're going to talk about this week's episode of The Walking Dead, which was episode
12?
That'll do.
I think it was something like Tomorrow's Not Today or some pish like that. But before we do that...
Hey, are you a jock that likes comics?
Are you a nerd that likes comics?
Do you feel left out sometimes?
Well, then we've got the show for you.
I'm Imran.
And I'm Anthony.
He's the jock.
And he's the nerd.
And we host the Jock and Nerd podcast at jockandnerd.com. If you're looking for fun, entertaining, laugh-out-loud geek chat over all the latest Marvel, DC shows and news, visit jockandnerd.com.
Full spoiler podcast, lots of swearing.
You're such a jock.
You're such a nerd.
Oh, come on.
Shut up, nerd.
Okay.
Holy shit.
So we've just looked up the meaning of thunderclap. And so a thunderclap is the sound of a scrotum slapping against the body when going balls deep.
Balls deep. Does it
Balls
actually
deep.
say balls deep?
It says balls deep.
Awesome. That's got to be my favourite phrase.
Clumsy seagull is better.
So, from one balls deep, let's get balls deep in The Walking Dead.
Oosh, nice segue,
So-
exciting.
Segues all days. See, I'm trying to make that work. Like, I'm maybe going to try and hashtag that.
Oh, fuck you.
So, yeah, we normally do our Talking Heads episode on a Monday or Tuesday night. It depends when I'm working. It is basically our live reaction, or almost live, or not quite live reaction to the Walking Dead episodes of Season 6, Part 2, Part B, or whatever they're calling it nowadays. Straight off the bat, I quoted Neegs. So straight off the bat...
Right, I'm just gonna interrupt you there, because I was distracted on the last episode, and I let you away with that shit.
What?
Neegs.
Neegs?
You can go to hell. You can go
That's
to
his
hell.
name?
You can go to hell and die with that. We're not calling him Neegs. Veto. His name is Negan. You're not shortening it. You don't need to shorten it to Neegs. Fuck you.
I quite like Neegs.
Well, you're wrong. Continue.
I do, I like Neegs.
No, continue.
So, right, episode 12, I forget what the name is. It was something like The Next Tomorrow or something stupid like that. What did you think?
Oh, I loved it.
Like, overall opinion before we really delve into it? We'll do like a timeline thing in a minute, but...
I mean, there was a couple of bits, mostly involving Morgan, that I thought, back off. I loved it. Absolutely. There was a few characters that completely redeemed themselves for me. Mm-hmm. The bits inside the compound were tense as hell.
Yep.
The music was tense as hell, and Rick was amazing, and I loved it.
Yep. I mean,
The show is doing good things.
I'll pretty much echo that. Like, I never once thought when we were setting up to do the Talking Heads, like when we were going to do like a spin-off show and bring Haze in, I never once thought for 1 second that we were going to get 4 solid as fuck episodes.
Right? I know.
I mean, a lot of people are giving the first episode shit now because they're saying that it was a bit unrealistic, it was a bit stupid. Well, you know what? It's a movie about the fucking apocalypse. So just let it go.
Yeah, you're unrealistic.
That's what some people were saying. Some people are now saying, Nicotero dropped the ball on the first episode. I didn't think he did. I thought everything he did in that first episode was excellent. And I think every episode so far, I mean, we're 4 episodes deep.
And
It's brilliant.
We've not had any rants around it. Not really.
We've not had to rant. I mean, we've had a little nitpicky shit, but you know what? It's The Walking Dead. I don't really think they care about continuity, to be fair. As long as the main story is going along, like, they don't care if it turns from day to night in 2 seconds flat.
You know what? To be honest, all that shit annoys me.
It does annoy me as well.
You know,
it's getting highly
like
annoying.
there's a section that I know you're going to bring up. We'll cover that one when you come to it. So let's go into the episode then. So I mean, we open up on something that kind of worried me a little bit.
Yeah.
We open up where Carol's all mother hen and
love this.
making. I liked it, but it just screamed, "Why are you happy for?"
Yeah. I know what you're saying. It kind of, I think I said on the last, or was it the episode, not the last episode, the episode 4, when Rick was playing the music in the car. Mm-hmm. And then I was saying that it's very Lost. Lost kind of started a few episodes like that with a bit of pop culture music. I think it was the second season when Desmond was down in the hatch and he's like washing the dishes and all that, and you had that song over the top and it's like play the same time.
Rings a bell.
I got that feeling with this. And I was kind of like, I love this. I loved seeing Carol making cookies. Absolutely loved that when the walker came along. Like, you're seeing a change in Carol already. The walker comes along, and she doesn't just kill the walker as in, like, oh, I'm going to kill this walker, yeah, like, as Carol would normally do.
Yeah, normally, I mean, when you saw it coming towards her, you'd expect her to go like, and then just keep on going about her business. But she was bothered about being covered in blood.
She was bothered. She seemed a little bit squeamish. She seemed a little bit put out at the fact that she was going to have to kill this zombie. That's not the Carol we know. We haven't seen her for 2 or 3 episodes, and she's been dealing with some shit. And in this episode, she deals with some shit. And I love it. I love this sort of little thing that they've got with Carol right now. I wasn't expecting it. Completely out of left field, and I love it.
What worried me was it's the Jack Bauer syndrome type thing, whereas if a character is too happy in a show like this, they tend to get killed just to hit us in the feels.
Aye.
At the moment, I'll be honest with you here. You know how I've for a few seasons now, I've been very much in the camp of if Carol dies, I'm out.
Yep.
With the way that the show's going and the sort of the form that the show's had, I know we're only 4 episodes in, I know this, but the form that the show's had, if they were to kill off Carol, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. But if they were to kill off Carol, I would have to see what happened. I would have to see Rick's vengeance on Negan.
I have a new theory after this episode. I have a little bit of a new theory, as I do every episode, as to the whole Negan and Lucille, and we'll come to that in a little bit. What did you think about the whole Tobin thing? Tobin was the guy on the steps that she gave the cookie to.
Oh,
and then they kiss.
I'm okay with that. What's wrong with that?
I loved it. I'm one of the. Like, I don't like Tobin. I'm not a big fan of Tobin. Like, he's not a character that bothers me. I did think
later on in the episode where they're just before the kiss, where she's kind of saying, like, "Are you going?" And he goes, "No," but you're going. I thought, "You muckle fucking pussy."
No.
I
think it's sort of like what makes Tobin perfect for Carol. When we first met Carol, she was a beaten housewife.
Yeah.
You know, like a man was batting fuck out of her. You know, she was meek as fuck. She was nothing really when you first met her. You didn't take a second look at her until like maybe series 2, possibly 3. You weren't really that interested in Carol.
I'd say as far as 3, to be honest with you.
I would go with 3, Probably when Sophia went missing.
That's right.
And then, so series 2, we'll give her series 2. Now, she's as he said, you're the one that can go out there and you can do this because you're a mother, because you're strong and all this. And now he's not weak, but he's just not built the same as her.
Yeah.
And I tend to, when I look at him, I'm like, for her, I think he's perfect for her. I don't like him as a character, but I think he's quite good for her.
I mean, I've got nothing against, him and Carol. I've got nothing against that at all.
Plus, we're not getting Daryl and Carol.
No, we're not.
It's not coming anytime soon. So
we have Carol making her cookies and all that. I loved the fact that she laid a cookie on Sam's grave. I loved that.
Again, we've not seen her for 2 episodes. She's dealing with some shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She clearly is blaming herself for Sam.
Yeah. Because maybe she wasn't there to protect him. She lost another kid, essentially, kind of thing.
And I'm wondering. I do like it, and I was thinking, are they going to address this? Because he froze because of her. She doesn't know that. We know that as a viewer.
Yeah.
Because we got the voiceover, and he froze because of her.
But he was already a little prick before.
Well, he was.
So.
We were happy to see Sam go.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if they were going to address that, and at the same time, they also addressed the other elephant in the room with Morgan.
Ugh.
I loved that scene.
Really?
I absolutely loved that scene. I loved the fact that she's taking her time. Like, what the fuck am I going to do with this man?
What I did like was he was saying to her, "Why didn't you tell Rick? Why didn't you and whoever tell Rick about what I did?" And he said to her, "By not telling him, it's kind of like you did it too." And she went, "No, it isn't."
Yeah.
Like, fuck no, it isn't.
It was like, you fucking mental. She cleaned up his mess. She killed the wolf. She took him out. I mean, alright, by that point, the wolf had kind of redeemed himself and we were kind of on his side a little bit because he was helping
But
Denise.
then again, Carol doesn't know that, does she?
Carol didn't know that at the time, no. I would like to think she maybe knows it now, and maybe that's another thing that's fucking with her.
Perhaps.
Because she's got a lot of things fucking with her head right now. She clearly has, and it's I think it's only going to get worse.
Morgan just annoys me every time he's on the screen now, to be honest with you.
He does. He's the only one in the room saying, like, the most sensible thing. But you're in a zombie fucking apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, war is coming to your door unless you take it to them.
Exactly.
And he still wants to talk fucking peacetime?
Shut the fuck up.
He's crazy.
Yeah, he is crazy. But so we've got that scene, that exchange between Carol and Morgan. Then Rick, etc.
All the gang turn
arrive back with the news of the hilltop and the news of the saviors.
Yeah, he mentions saviors.
So then they have their meeting in the. Have I missed a scene?
That's the
go
next
straight
scene.
to the meeting with
they
in the church. Again, Morgan stands up and says, "No, let's talk to them," and all that bullshit. Then Aaron stands up.
The most unlikely character that I thought in that church, the most unlikely person to kind of stand up and tell Morgan to shut the fuck up, Aaron. But I loved it. I was sat there like, get in, fucking bow time.
But he made a very good point, and we were attacked by the wolves. Well, people died, and we're not going to let that happen again. Fuck you. Sit the fuck down.
We defended ourselves once. We'll do it again. Yeah. I love that. So, absolutely wicked.
That was a cracking scene. What did annoy me a little bit was I don't remember who said to Rick, "Can we do it?" And Rick just like, "Yes, we can do it. Of course, we can do it." Now I know that they're used to doing battle and stuff like that, but you've not got any idea what you're going into, how many people, what the layout is. I know that they drew a little map.
He's completely overestimating.
But like, be fine.
Aye.
That did me think. That did make me think a little bit. Oh.
We said that last week, though. We said that he was just being very, very cavalier with the group. Like you say, you don't just go into battle with someone you don't have a clue about. Yeah. Did you see Rick is very much becoming this sort of character? He's getting a bit ruthless. He's getting a bit reckless. He's clearly, his head's taking a fucking walk off the map a couple of seasons ago. He's not hinged at all. He's very unhinged. Did you see the scene in the church? It was a tiny little second with Tara, fist bump, and Denise, when she kind of like moved away from Denise a little bit. When I first watched it, I took that as she knows that there's some uncomfortable wartime coming and all that, and she fancies this girl, and then she kind of like moved away and all that. I'm kind of getting the feeling that maybe it's because she was heavy with the governor, like she was in the governor's crew when we first met her.
Well, there's a conversation in the car later on that she has with...
and let's be honest,
Jesus.
Rick's kind of turning into the governor.
I'd be okay with that.
He's kind of getting that role now. The governor would have had no problem taking all his people into battle with people he didn't know. And I thought it was a nice little touch. I don't know, maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe it was the fact that she knows this bad time's coming, so she's like, she likes this girl, this doctor. Maybe it is that, but I took it as she was really super uncomfortable because the Rick's becoming the governor.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't pick up on that, to be honest with you. I just kind of thought like, oh, we're going into battle and people are going to die. Yeah. Which didn't happen. Not yet, anyway. No. Well, I mean, they had the little skirmish. Aye. Let's call it a skirmish, where they invaded the compound. That was cool. Yeah, there was a bit that you picked up on, and you had little scenes following the church scene.
Well, you had the church scene, and then you had Carol. Can't sleep, and she's made a list of the people she's killed.
Yeah, I love that. I fucking love that.
I think she's underestimating the people she's killed.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 18? Really?
Terminus Courtyard, 4. I'm sat there going, no, you blew up Terminus. You blew up an oil tanker. You caused mass explosions. I think she's underestimating herself.
She's got to be at least in triple figures.
Aye, I would say that. I would say that now. Maybe I'm wrong, but it really... And wolves, she had like 3 wolves with a question mark beside it. I'm like, sorry.
In the Rambo Carol episode, which, by the way, has not been touched yet, that's my favourite episode of The Walking Dead ever. But she was going about bloody... Morgan was trying to talk a guy down. She comes up.
I think she's maybe going easy on herself.
I think she's going easy on herself, yeah. And
then you had Denise and Fist Bump talking to each other, and this really worried me, this scene. And we'll talk about the little Easter egg that I saw and you totally didn't see. By the way, Haze saw it and he thought exactly the same thing. Tara basically told Denise that she loved her, and Denise said, I'll tell you that I love you when you get back.
Yeah.
The fuck? You don't say that in a TV show. You don't say that in a TV show, because as soon as you say that, she ain't coming back.
But she's going on her 2-week voyage, so she's like coming back. It's like Scully being abducted by the aliens to have her baby, and
She's
she can come back.
she's basically...
That's what it is. You know, in the X-Files, Scully was heavily pregnant. They had her abducted by aliens. Mulder does his thing for a couple of weeks, and then she comes back into the show later on once she's dropped the bairn. Bairn equals baby, by the way, Americans. So that's what it is, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, she's going on her 2-week trek
and
Heath, and that's what it is.
And they literally own the biggest plate in Alexandria. How did you not see this?
Fucking play, you fuck.
They've done some shoddy things in this episode so far to hide Fist Bump's bump.
I didn't care. I didn't care about the size. Nerd!
But the thing is...
That is literally the best impression of Homer Simpson I've ever done.
The thing is, right, they've got her wearing hoodies all the time, right, to hide this bump. They've got her standing behind things, they've got her standing under things, they've got a huge fuck-off plate in front of her, and it was a massive plate. It might just been the way it was framed, but it was a huge plate.
Who cares? It's a fucking plate.
It was the size of her fucking belly, right? But my biggest thing is, every time I see this lass, her face... compared to the series before, she's got a pregnant face.
Maybe she was stung by a bee.
She wasn't stung
You
by
have
a
bees
bee.
in Alexandria. There's flowers and shit.
So we'll move on.
You fucking nerd.
So Glenn and Maggie have a bit of a heart-to-heart about what's coming, and the only thing about this scene was that Stephen Yeun actually did some good acting. I'm kind of feeling for Glenn now.
Yeah.
A little bit. You know, he's really uncertain about what's going to happen when this kid comes. It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
But, you know, the one bit I would say about that scene is when Maggie said, I need to go, surely you would be saying, like hell you are.
Aye.
You know, I know it's an apocalypse and it's a big war, and she set up the meeting and all that, but, you know, you're pregnant with my kid, you're not fucking going anywhere. Love.
Exactly. But no, she's going because she's the politician of the group. Then you had the Carol and Tobin sitting on the porch having a fag.
Happy with that. I'm
necking on.
You know, it's it's the dialogue between those two.
It was brilliant.
When he asked her for a cigarette and she goes, no, asshole. I fucking love that. I love that shit.
I love the way they played it, like there's some chemistry going on there, and it turns out to be that whole thing, like when you liked somebody when you were younger, you took the piss out of them, you bullied them, and it's kind of like, you have one of them for me, and it's like, no, asshole, and then next thing you know, they're making sweet love. Is this the first time this has happened, do you think? Because we were wrong with Rick and Michonne. We thought that was like going on for weeks, but it turns out that was the first time.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then you got the best breakup artist ever. That scene, you know what it is though, right? All I'm going to say about that scene is, I said last week on these episodes, that I've turned my back on Abraham after last week. I thought that whole episode was so fucking out of character for Abraham. Just the whole existential fucking trying to figure out which girl he wants to bang. Just all of that was just such bollocks to me. All she ever was a fuck buddy. So why is he bothered about breaking her heart and all this?
Yeah.
This episode, that one scene, that was the most Abraham I've ever seen Abraham be. Totally closed off, totally, why were dingleberries brown? 'Cause shit happens. What the fuck? Even in a breakup situation, he has time to give a one-liner.
It was shit.
It was shit, but I just felt like he was more Abraham in that scene.
The one line that I liked was he said, when I first met you, you were the last woman on earth, and you're not.
That's fucking hardcore, that.
It is. I like that line, that's all.
That's not like saying it's not me. It's not you, it's me. That's not saying that at all. That's like saying, if you were the last woman on earth, that's the only way I'd fuck you. That's harsh. That is fucking harsh, like.
Yeah.
I feel quite bad for her.
She actually, later on in the episode, when she was speaking to Carol, she kind of had a little bit of an unhinged look about her.
Oh, she was fucked off, like.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, I did like how Eugene was sort of stood in the doorway and eating Carol's cookie. And he was saying, oh, it's all soft in the middle, and she just slams the door in his face. I fucking love that. I love Eugene.
I love his t-shirt.
Virginia.
I love Virginia or something, or Virginia's for lovers.
So that's what it was, Virginia's for lovers, yeah. I love Eugene.
That was the first time I've literally saw Eugene on the screen and didn't want to punch him.
I don't know what your beef is with Eugene.
Because when Abraham walked out, she was turning around and the camera was panning a little bit. Lindsay was sat in the living room with me at the time, and I goes, fucking Eugene's in the doorway. And there he was. Absolutely put. Can we, maybe those two get together?
Oh, no.
No?
Oh, no, you wouldn't fuck a mullet.
No, you wouldn't.
No,
you're right, like, you're right. You're,
No,
you're totally
never
right.
that.
I would never fuck a mullet.
I think we're run out of Alexandria now. They go on their trek from
I
there,
think
don't
after
they?
that, you kind of get the, well, it's intersected that you get the plans.
That's right, the plan.
Which was,
Sorry.
I have to say, a completely different way to shoot a scene for The Walking Dead. I loved, like, you could just hear the voices making the plans, and he's drawing
He's drawn it, yeah, aye.
I was sat there like, damn, this like Nicotero was kind of doing something
Yeah,
different
it was
here, right?
fine,
Like
it was fine.
Maybe just little things like that I do kind of pick up on, and when I do see stuff like that, I just love it, which is another reason why I think this series so far, these 4 episodes, they're just fucking smashing out the park.
I did read the thing before they started, or before it premiered, saying we're going for it this season.
Aye.
Keep it up, guys. So they're making the plans for the attack.
Did you at any point when he was drawing the plans and all that, did you at any point sit there and think it's a trap? Because I wasn't sold on that guy yet. I am now, but I wasn't sold on him.
No, I didn't think that.
I kind of thought he was leading them down a dark alley.
You just wanted to do an Akbar impression, didn't you?
I just wanted to do an Akbar impression. They want Gregory's head, we'll bring it to them.
Aye. That's cool. So cool.
For a split second, I thought he meant, let's go to the hilltop. Let's kill Xander Berkeley.
Not yet. Kill him later because he's an asshole. But not yet.
But it's Rick. You don't fucking know. And then as we see in the next couple of scenes, it's fucking Rick. You just don't know. They're going to the compound where the saviors are going to be. But before that, they decide to get the worst part of this whole episode for me. I like these scenes, but this plan was fucking ridiculous.
That is a bit fucking ridiculous. It is. So we're assuming that you've watched the episode.
Yeah.
So the Rick's plan is they want Gregory's head. So they're going to find a walker who looks a little bit like Gregory, chop off his head, and then give him the walker's head. There's been worse plans. Like, you know, we're going to walk halfway across Middle Earth instead of taking the Eagles.
Yeah,
that's a
well,
worse plan.
that was just to span 3 movies. Though.
Well, exactly. Yeah. So that's the plan. So I don't think there's anything major happens in these scenes.
I think in that scene you get as you mentioned a second ago, you get Rosita talking to Carol.
Yep.
That's a pretty good scene, and it was at that point that I actually thought Melissa McBride, who plays Carol, I was literally sitting there thinking, this is, apart from when she goes balls into the action and she turns into Rambo Carol, this is some of the best we've seen Melissa McBride.
Yeah.
This whole episode, she is fucking amazing.
I
She's
loved
killing
her.
it.
Later on, that will come to the exchange with Maggie.
With Maggie, oh man, she's absolutely killing this episode, like acting wise, because she doesn't really do much action.
But that's what's worrying me. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So they had that exchange, and then
you get Heath and Glenn talking about how they're trying to keep their humanity.
Yeah. They both say that neither of them have ever had to kill a guy
killed
before.
anyone, and then they find a zombie that looks like Gregory. And then you have the 3 heads on the ground, which was just fucking... This is just nuts, man.
Apparently, Easter egg-wise, one of them was Johnny Depp.
I saw that, yeah, I read that. Did you think it was?
No, I didn't.
Because I saw the picture and I was like...
No, I didn't at all.
For one thing, he kind of looked a bit better than Johnny Depp, to be fair. The severed head. So, Jesus is like, it's a good thing we're going at night, because he doesn't really look like Gregory, and the dark would be... And his nose is a little bit different. So Rick proceeds to punch fuck out of a severed zombie head.
And then for the second time he goes,
what? What? And then I don't know what this guy's name is yet, but he kind of stands out and he's like, what was it? He says the saviors are scary.
The saviors are scary, but they got nothing on you or something like that. Yeah, I think that's what the line was.
Which is a wicked line.
Yeah.
I did kind of sit there and go, oh yeah, you've just met Rick Grimes. But yeah, that's kind of all you get in that little scene. But let me just preempt the compound bit now. When this episode started, and you got the bit with Carol, and you got the people talking, and then they came in as the group, and then they went to the church, I was thinking, here we are, a full episode of just talking.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I did not for 1 second think we were going to get to this compound. Not for 1
Yeah,
second.
I agree
not
with
in
you
this
completely.
episode.
I was thinking the same thing.
And then it goes from being a steady episode, climbing, to just fucking balls out. That compound scene is amazing. I don't think this is Negan's main compound. It can't be.
No.
That whole sequence was just immense from the moment they get in.
You know, the one thing I thought, I mentioned the music earlier on.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Bourne or some shit.
It was quite like, very Bourne-y, very like...
Yeah.
Kind of like constantly.
That's exactly what it was.
It wasn't. I'm not paying any rights for that. So they get there, two guys come out, the Saviours... And the Saviours are pretty fucked up. Taking the fake Gregory head and making it speak.
I actually like that.
It was funny, but I was kind of sat there going, "What the fuck's he doing?"
I thought that was funny. Yeah.
So we get the guy whistling "Happy Birthday," and then Daryl slits his throat, which is, Daryl kills are amazing. And then the other guy comes back out. He's like, "Here's your pal." Michonne takes him out with the samurai sword.
Nice samurai sword through the chest again. Awesome.
You cannot beat a good samurai sword.
Oh, yeah.
And then they go in.
Awesome.
And what do they do when they go in? They all instantly split up into packs of two. You got Sasha and Abraham together. You got Heath and Glenn together. We're going to get to that scene in a second, right? But if you're going into this situation, I know Rick's not got his best game face on, like his best level head on. But the two guys who've never killed anyone in this zombie apocalypse, never killed a human being in their life.
You would think they would say, right, Daryl, you take one, I'll take one. Yeah.
Aye, but no, they send those two off together in probably the best scene of the episode anyway, but we'll get there in a second. So yeah, they're basically going through, opening the doors nice and quiet. Rick, slow knife through the head, and then when he pulls it up, nice bit of blood.
Yeah, probably a little bit of brain.
A little bit too much for me, like... And Hayes did mention, because I asked him on Facebook to kind of give us a couple of comments, and he did basically say that, is it really that easy to put a knife through a living person's head? And I know, like, the walkers got soft, like, tissue in that, but Rick doesn't seem to have any problems.
Well, it's Rick.
It is Rick. So they basically just go through this compound clearing it out, and then it turns... you get the scene with Heath and Glenn.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
At what point did you think that these guys were going to wake up?
Not so much with the Glenn's guy, with Heath's guy. He was stood over him, heavy breathing for a good 30 seconds before Glenn came over. So I thought, I'd like to think if there was a guy stood above me when I was sleeping with a knife,
you'd know about
I'd like
it.
to stab me in the head, going, I'd wake up.
So basically, Glenn kills.
Glenn was amazing.
Glenn's never killed anyone in this whole thing, and from what I'm aware, like, everybody knows what happens to Glenn in the comics. It's been the biggest talked about thing this series so far. That is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? From what I'm aware, though, Glenn didn't actually ever kill anyone in the comics before dying. Like, he never did it. So this is a big step away from the comics, if that is a thing.
But we said a few episodes ago, it's not going to be Glenn.
It's not going to be.
I think Negan has to kill someone, and he has to kill someone.
I think
big.
For me, this confirms that Glenn's not going to be the one, because now he's just thinking about his kid. He's thinking about Maggie. Killing someone it's not a problem for him anymore, because he's got something to lose. He's got a wife and a child to lose. If I have to kill someone, I'm going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
And I love the way he took the kill for Heath.
The first up before we get to Heath's kill, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Is the camera closed in on Glenn as he was pushing the knife into the guy, and he was like trying not to cry, and I fucking love that. I absolutely love that.
Again, like I say, the scene earlier on with Maggie, and then this scene, Stephen Yeun. Again, Melissa McBride puts in her best work in this episode. So does Glenn.
I agree. I agree completely.
Phenomenal in this episode.
And I mentioned before we started speaking about this episode that two characters redeemed themselves. Glenn was one of them.
It's 100% totally redeemed.
But you know what? It was never. Again, I think we mentioned this. It was never anything against Glenn, the character.
No, it's the way they fucked us around.
Switch. It was the bait and switch. They fucked us about and said, "Oh, he's dead. He's not dead. He's dead. He's not dead."
Yeah.
But this scene was fantastic, and then, as you say, Heath was kind of struggling. The guy was going to wake up, and Glenn, he went into Rick mode basically, and he killed it. He killed the guy instead of Heath, so that Heath didn't have to take a life.
That is pretty much washed over in a couple of scenes after that. They kind of do this amazing thing where Glenn takes the kill for Heath, but then they totally just make that null and void.
Yeah, Heath is a bit pissy with him, isn't he?
He is a little bit, but then it's like. So it then cuts to Abraham and Sasha, who are together, and they're trying to get into this door, and this door will not open, and they're basically trying to fucking hack away at the door, and then a saviour comes out from behind, sees Abraham, fucking cuts Abraham, but then Sasha, shit, couple to the
she
chest.
proper goes fully stabby Buffy.
And that's when it all kicks off, because he falls on the alarm and pulls it.
Yeah, they don't do it like Rick out.
Aye,
The guy is able to pull the alarm.
But that's pretty damn good, like stabbing to the chest. And that's when it all kicks off. Shit goes south. Did you see the scene that could have basically been the start of a bad joke? Fist bump, confessing to the priest in the car.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned before, that she said, I lied to my girlfriend earlier on today. Yeah.
So she's sitting in a car. You've got a lesbian in a car confessing to a priest with Jesus in the backseat. That's the start of a bad joke for me.
I didn't think of it. I didn't think of that.
And that's pretty much when it kicks off. She gets a couple of kills with the guys coming out the doors.
She does.
She gets a couple of decent kills. Maggie and Carol doing their little bit. Carol going full mother mode.
Absolutely love that scene.
Quite like Maggie in that scene as well.
Maggie was great in that scene as well. Yeah, she was, absolutely. Carol, we don't know exactly what happened with how they got captured.
Yeah.
Not yet, obviously. I hope they don't start going timey-wimey too much and flashbacks and all that shit. I hope they don't start doing that.
I think they've learned
the
the lesson there.
Because that was distracting after a while in the last season. But, so that, yeah, basically, you know, Carol said, you shouldn't be here.
Yep.
You know, what the hell are you doing here? When the alarms go off, Maggie wants to charge in, all guns blazing. Carol won't let her. She says, you're not going anywhere.
And I loved it.
And basically, what I picked up from it anyway, I don't know if you picked up on this as well, or if I'm wrong completely. Basically, Carol was kind of saying to Maggie, you shouldn't be doing this shit. You should be the mum that I couldn't.
Yeah.
I didn't get the opportunity to be.
Very much so. I'm completely on the same page there. I mean, she lost her daughter 4 series ago. You know, she had that little moment with Daryl a couple of series ago where it was sort of maternal, but I still thought they were gonna fuck. She's been, and then the whole thing with Sam. You know, it totally stands to reason what you're saying. She's kind of taken that maternal role, and she's like, look, you don't need to do this. Your role in this whole thing now is to be a mum.
Yep.
That's your thing now, so just fucking back off. And then obviously we know how that goes.
Mm-hmm. But then, so we go from there back in.
Yeah,
I think
we go back in.
There's a few more action scenes which were awesome.
We have the Glenn and Heath scene.
That's what I was about to bring up. Is that scene was so fucking cool. They get into the armory and then.
What I mean, though, like we're saying that Glenn took the kill for him, but then it's totally just washed away by the fact that Heath then kills people.
Well, but then
it's defensive.
But then, you know, putting a knife into a guy's head as he's sleeping is different than going all John McClane against against the door.
Aye,
that's completely different.
I suppose you've got that deniability. He doesn't know if he actually killed anyone. I suppose it could have all been Glenn's bullets that killed someone.
Or Jesus. Jesus was out there.
Let's just talk about Jesus. When Tara wants to go in. And Jesus is like, I'll come in with you, and he sends the boys away in the car. When he took the coat off, and then he starts pulling the bandana up over his face, looking like Casey Jones, basically. And I'm sitting there like, oh, this is going to go. And then they kind of waste it.
He didn't, I mean, you just said a few minutes ago that this is not the main battle. Of course it's not the main battle.
No.
So he's got more to do. He's with Rick and what have you now. I kind of wanted to see more from him.
Yeah.
But then there was so much going on. There were so many different gunfights going on and stuff like that. There's only so much you can fit into an episode. You don't want to rush yourself. You don't want to blow your load too soon. Just calm down. You'll get there. You'll get there.
Our famous Alexandrian, Aaron, he got a kill.
He did.
Pretty good kill.
That was a pretty good kill, yeah.
And if it wasn't us, it would have been you. I was a little bit perplexed by that sort of speech. I was kind of like, what the fuck's he on about? Like, if we didn't kill you, you would have killed yourself. Because that's how that kind of plays. Like, he says, if it wasn't us, it would have been you. So is he saying, if we didn't kill you, you would have got yourself killed? Is that... I just wasn't sure on how that was worded. It's still a badass kill, and it was still a badass delivery, but quite know what he means there.
I didn't really pick up on that, to be honest. Yeah, okay.
So then you get Jesus saves Glenn and Heath, and then you're talking about redeeming characters.
Yep.
I couldn't believe this. I could not believe my fucking eyes.
I was actually the same. I know exactly what you're going to say. I was exactly the same.
You got the priest standing there going, Ezekiel 25:17, the path of the righteous man. I know Seth Gilliam's got this in him. I know the type of actor he is. I loved him in The Wire.
But he kind of had a moment in the car as well.
He had a little moment in the car, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, are they actually going to do something with this? Because you said to me, before that character came into it last season, you said, I'm not familiar with The Wire, I've not watched it yet, but you said to me, this guy's an amazing actor,
he is.
and he's going to be class in this role, and then they just turned him into a complete prick.
They did. They kind of just, I don't know if they were maybe hoping for a slow burn with him. And
Maybe, but... I mean, the prayer before he shoots the guy.
It was amazing.
It was actually half a fist bump moment for me, I won't lie. It was fucking brilliant.
I did sit there and I was pointing at the screen going, that right there, that right there, that right there, that's what I've been waiting for. Like, this is what you're capable of. You're that type of actor. He's an amazing actor. It looked like they were going to Tyrese him and they were just going to make him hold the baby for a couple of episodes. I'm glad nobody offered the baby to him in this episode because that's been happening too often lately. That one moment was amazing.
It was great. And for me, it's redeemed the character.
Definitely.
Don't fuck it up.
There was a split second when he was doing his little speech and the guy kind of started to lift his arm. And I thought, he's got your monologue in. I did think he was going to take a bullet, but he didn't. He just fucking nailed him. And then, amen. Oh, man.
Keep doing that. Keep doing that shit.
We need more of that. We need a hell of a lot more than that.
You don't need him being all betray and fucking all that shit and whiny and praying all over the place.
Yeah,
I mean,
because he did pretty much try to...
Well, he did. He fucking betrayed them to fake Janeway. He did.
I forgot about that, actually.
But,
he did,
yeah, I was happy with that bit. Very happy
I
with
absolutely
that
loved that bit. It wasn't my favourite moment of the episode, but it was right up there. We've needed a justification from him. He's needed to redeem himself, and for me, he's done that. And of course, we had that little scene earlier when he was kind of talking to Rick. This is what you trained me for. Mm-hmm. So obviously he's been getting pointers from Rick. And if you're going to get pointers from anyone, it's going to be Rick. So that's basically the compound sort of dealt with.
Yeah, they kind of go into the bit where they've got all the cars and then somebody...
Heath and Tara, they go on the little road trip that they've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. I'm assuming that's because he was making Straight Outta Compton, or he was doing his publicising for Straight Outta Compton.
Oh, I did not know that.
And she was away having a baby. So
I've not seen that. So that's that. The guy kind of half gets away on a bike and then they shoot him.
Was that Daryl's bike? And you know how in the first half it got stolen by those three idiots in the woods? Remember he had his bike and it was stolen? I'm going to have to figure out if it was, because Aaron gave him a bike in the first half of the season. I'm wondering if that's his bike, because if that's his bike, then those three idiots are either A, involved, or B, they're now dead. Do you remember the episode?
No.
You know when he split off with Abraham and Sasha? And then he got split away from them two. Them two went into that little town where he went nuts with his PTSD. Daryl got kidnapped.
Is that the episode with the bazooka?
Aye. And Daryl kind of got kidnapped by these three people who stole his bike and then fucked off with his crossbow.
Oh, yeah.
That's why Daryl's not had the crossbow for a couple of episodes.
Right.
So I'm sitting there going, is that his bike? Because he seemed very much like, where did you get the fucking bike? Smash.
Oh, is that why he was pummeling him?
Well, I thought it was.
Oh,
and he tried to escape.
I really didn't. Nerd!
They beat the living crap out of him, and there's a radio quite lying on the floor, sort of the most randomly placed radio ever.
It was a little bit. Did you think it was a little bit reminiscent of the "Hey asshole, you in the tank"?
It was when she goes, "Hey prick," nice play on the name Rick. Hey prick. I thought she said Rick, but then. No, it was prick.
No, she just called him a prick.
Aye.
Yeah.
I thought she'd said prick. And then we find out that whoever's on the other side of the radio has Maggie and Carol. And you did end the episode going, fuck.
I did. I normally, as you know, I always watch the next week on.
Yeah, aye.
Now, there's a lass that's in the next week's one. I don't know who she is, but I know her fucking voice.
It's Alicia Witt.
That doesn't help me.
She's called Alicia Witt.
Is it her that was in Zero Dark 30?
No, that was Jessica Chastain.
Is she also ginger though?
Alicia Witt was in the TV show Justified, the last couple of series.
No,
but I don't think you watched that. So I will wiki who she is now. But I knew she was coming into this. I had no idea who she was playing, and I still don't.
I know her voice.
You will know her as soon as you see her. I can't think what she's in, but I've watched something that she's in. She was in Justified. She was in Friday Night Lights.
I've not watched that. I watched the first episode.
Urban Legend from years ago. She was in that.
Christ.
Vanilla Skies. You'll know her when you see her, and straight away you'll be like, ah.
But anyway, she's like got a hood over Maggie and Carol's head and shit like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next week.
Looking forward to that.
Oh, fuck yes. Moment of the episode for you?
Moment of the episode, for the sheer fucking absurdity of the scene, I'm just going to go with Rick punching fuck out of... I mean, the whole Glenn... It was probably Glenn and Heath, that
for
whole
me, it's
scene.
Glenn.
Aye.
It's the close-up of Glenn as he's putting the knife into the guy's head and trying not to cry. That was fucking great.
He was amazing in that scene.
Yep.
It was absolutely
That's the moment.
amazing.
And probably he's the character of the episode for me as well, just for that scene.
Yeah, I'd definitely go with that, because although everybody got a little bit... I'm going to say Carol on that, to be fair, because...
I know it's unusual for me not to go for Carol, but it's just that bit. It's just that bit where he's just trying not to cry and fucking putting it.
I know what you're saying. I know
Great.
exactly
It's
what you're
fucking
saying. I did love it.
Yep.
In that scene, we didn't touch on it there because I wanted to leave it until the end. But obviously, there's this huge discussion as to who's going to meet Lucille. Lucille is Negan's bat. In that scene, we saw what I am assuming pictures of some Negan victims.
Yes,
Some caved-in heads.
I did think what.
They were definitely caved-in heads, and I'm taking that as that's Negan's work with Lucille. I'm taking that as that. The fact that Glenn saw it, we know that Glenn's supposed to die by that. It vindicates that theory a little bit, because I'm sort of like, if Glenn's seeing that, and we know that he's supposed to meet the Bat, because let's be honest, they've hinted at that so many times.
Is that what Negan does to Glenn in the comics?
Pretty much,
He
but
bashes his bloody head in.
I think it's a hell of a lot more brutal.
Right, okay.
Aye. My theory now, they now have Carol, and they now have Maggie, and we know that it's supposed to be Glenn that goes, but it can't be Glenn now. It can't be. So when you line up who we think it's going to be, because I think you're going to end up with a lineup much like the Terminus, the very first episode in Terminus when you had the lineup over the troughs and they were just slitting the throats and the guy had the baseball bat behind them. Again, another little nod to Negan. And they kind of got to Glenn, and then Carol came in, fucking making everybody look at the flowers. I think we're going to end up with a situation where we're going to have Glenn there, we're going to have Carol, we're going to have Rick, because Rick's always there. We're going to have Maggie. I get the feeling either Heath or Tara's going to be there because they've gone now, and I don't think I think they're going to be captured on the road. I think that they're not coming back just now. When they come back, that's going to be the situation. They've kidnapped them.
Just don't do a flash away. We don't need a flash away.
We don't need an away mission. I honestly, 100% in my heart of heart right now, I think it's going to be Maggie that bites it. They can't do it to Glenn because it doesn't mean anything anymore.
It needs to be a main character.
It needs to be a main character. They can't do Glenn. I can't see them doing Daryl because why? Does that pull on anybody's heartstrings if Daryl dies? Apart from the fan? Apart from us?
No. I mean, I would be a bit, not gutted exactly, but I'd be like,
that's what I'm
hell.
saying. Like, we as fans, or the general fan-watching public, we will be gutted at Daryl dying. Of course we will. But in the show, I don't see, apart from Rick and Michonne being like, oh, Daryl's dead. But I don't see it affecting anybody in the show.
Yeah, you need like a catalyst in the show for them to go...
To go fucking berserk.
Fuck!
Aye, something that will A, destroy them, and B, just make them want to just... As the arc is called, all-out war. That's the way it goes, You can't do Daryl. Carol, as much as we all love Carol... The only person that affects is Tobin, and I don't really give a shit about Tobin yet.
Maybe Daryl, but then they're not really... Have they had any scenes together?
Not really. This is the thing with Daryl. They just seem to be putting him on the outside and just sort of like having him there all the time. But he's not really connected to anyone.
Yeah.
This is the thing I love about Daryl, but I wish they would just integrate him a little bit more.
Yeah.
And they keep
the only one that kind of integrated him with is Rick in that episode, which was great. And
that was because everybody was screaming for a Rick and Daryl bro out episode. We needed one.
But that 2 seasons ago or whatever, Daryl and Carol had the episode where they went to the battered women's thing, which was a fucking awesome episode.
But they've never done much with it since.
I think that was probably the last time they really had any major contact on screen. So,
so
like emotional bombshell wise, it's got to be Maggie then.
For me, emotional bombshell to the cast of the show, to the people. Could you imagine if they bludgeon to death pregnant Maggie on fucking TV? Can you imagine?
Can you imagine the Americans letting that on TV? I know you had a little kid getting his head bitten off.
Well, exactly, yeah, you had that, but they're getting there.
But then, I mean, you know what? I mean, on HBO 2 years ago, they had a pregnant woman being fucking stabbed repeatedly in the chest.
Game of Thrones got away with it.
Went like that.
It's all about how far AMC want to push this, and to be perfectly honest, they've got a character coming into the show who drops the F-bomb every 2 seconds. So they're pushing it a little bit right now, and you can sense it. Like the likes of Sam, are they ready to kill a pregnant woman?
But then they had the beardy fella, the stocky beardy fella, going, "I can't believe this shit. Can you believe this shit?" Like, they said shit.
Exactly. They say shit like every 2 minutes now. But yeah, I would agree with you. I'm about ready to go all in on this.
If they're going to have a moment, they're not going to batter her to death. They're not going to bludgeon her to death or anything like that. They're not going to do that.
I don't think we'll see that, but I think that's going to be extremely implied.
The thing is, you've got HBO and you've got
HBO gets away with that
network. You know, that's not going to happen.
But could you imagine Glenn having to watch that as well? Glenn, he just gave away the last thing that made him pure, is the fact that he never killed anyone. He's just given that away to protect everything, and then he has to watch her get bludgeoned to death.
I mean, that would be some serious shit in the show. It absolutely would.
And I'll tell you something, as ratings go, fucking through the roof. Everybody's watching that.
Walking Dead's got that problem.
No, they don't have that problem, but everybody's watching that.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Just get Negan in the last 2 seconds. Well, fuck me. I'm gonna kill a fucking pregnant fucking woman. Fucking fade to black. Done.
Right.
But, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time they're strayed away from
No, I'm happy with them straight. I mean,
material.
I've not read any of the comics. I've not. So I really don't know anything about what's coming or what they do in the comics. And I'm happy with that.
I'm like that. Like, I like knowing a little bit about a little bit, but I don't like knowing a lot about a lot. I like what I know, and which is very basic, to be honest. I kind of know where the whole Negan thing goes, and it has to be powerful because, as far as I know, it's the most powerful part of the books so far. It's that one scene that everybody still remembers, still talks about, and in the show, we can't have that.
It's like the Red Wedding moment of The Walking Dead, basically.
And it needs to be somebody that we as viewers are going to sit back and feel like we did when we watched.
Yeah, don't give us any fucking Sasha, Eugene, bloody bullshit. We need a major event to happen.
I'm just about ready to go all in on Maggie and just say that it's going to be her. Balls deep on Maggie.
You're going to thundercut Maggie.
Wow. So
that's The Walking Dead.
That's The Walking Dead. Or The Talking Heads.
The Talking Heads. Sorry,
and we will be back to the normal show either Monday or Tuesday next week after the next episode. Hopefully it's going to be another stormer. Could you imagine if we get 5 in a row?
It's only like 7, 8, isn't it?
8, I think, yeah. 8. If we get 5 in a row, I'm about ready to call this the best series ever. Apart from the first half, which was a bit pishy-cacky.
Just calm yourself
down.
Just
cool our jets.
Just calm yourself
down.
But
like we keep saying, why are we so scared to believe that it's going to be the best show ever, best series ever? It's kind of starting to look like it might be.
But you know that's the thing. If you're leading up to the best arc, the best comic book story arc ever, in The Walking Dead, then why is it out there to believe that it's going to be the best story arc in the TV show?
I truly believe that we're going to get there. I got some comments off Haze. I asked him, I says, can you send us some stuff just so that we can give him a little bit of a thing? So he said the episode was class. He was surprised that we got the assault this episode, as we both said. Mm-hmm. He thinks that Lucille might welcome Carol now.
No.
Never that.
Don't do it.
He can't see it being Maggie, but those are the two most likely now. And then he asked me what I reckon, and I said, I'm going to double down on Maggie, which sounds worse.
Unlocking my bets.
Unlocking my bets. He says he loved how slowly the knife to the face can silently kill someone in 2 seconds. A bit unrealistic. He'd said his departure from Pussy Whiny Glenn to Governor Rape Smackdown Glenn. Totally.
Okay. Smackdown Glenn. If you smell... Look.
Also, the woman who spoke, who the fuck was that? We now know that's...
Yeah.
We now know that's a woman called Polly, because I read it on Wikipedia. But he thought that Lucille might actually be a woman in the show. Like, Negan maybe has a woman that does his dirty work for him, does the battering, which I quite like the idea.
Her versus Michonne.
I like that.
Face off.
So he agrees, but he doesn't think they'll kill a pregnant woman, even though they did it to Laurie, but that was completely different because the baby was nearly born.
Yeah, it's not... that she died in childbirth, didn't she?
Yeah, aye.
So that's not the same as somebody being
No.
beaten to death.
No, who's only like maybe, 5 months pregnant?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said that we don't need 2 babies and a pregnant woman with a war coming. It's a massive liability. Thinking with his head there. You know, maybe Rick needs to be thinking this, but he loves how Abraham suddenly flipped out on Rosita. He still doesn't care about him, but it made more sense than last episode, which is what I said. But yeah, he's wondering if Lucille is going to be a woman instead of Neegs' bat.
We don't call him Neeks.
We do call him
No,
Neegs.
we don't.
All valid comments. I can't wait to get him back on for the next episode.
Yeah, oh, aye.
And go for this.
If he's not a walker by then.
If he's not a walker by then.
He will be. I said to him on the messenger the other day, that's how it starts.
That is how it starts. So we're going to move on. I'll play a quick.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Astro Radio Z is a horror, cult, exploitation film podcast hosted by me, Derek Carey. I was one of those monster kids growing up. The one that used to sit in the back end of that video store and scour over every single last film cover you saw back there. From the slashers, to the monsters, to the sleazy stuff. Yeah, I was freaking obsessed. And I still am. So much so, I became a filmmaker myself. Now I bring on all my filmmaker friends, critics, musicians, and any other fans of the dark arts, which are horror, exploitation, and cult film. Are you one of these people? Then tune in and listen to my show, Astro Radio Z.
So that was a promo for our buddies over at Astro Radio Z. Again, we love the Weeby Geeks promo, but we do love Astro Radio Z.
Yeah, we
as
do.
well.
Yeah,
I'm
we do.
all out of bubblegum!
Yeah, you still rock your head at that shit, don't you?
I do, yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
there's possibly, did you see that I may have signed us up for a crossover? Well, not a crossover, but the guys that do Astro Radio Z, one of them does another podcast called Film Jerks, where they pick a movie and they just talk about it.
I did see that. I did.
A sort of round the table sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, I'm up for that shit.
I've kind of half-heartedly said we would do it. And by that, I mean, yeah, we're totally fucking up for it.
I'm not an awkward prick or a diva, as you know, so...
But we'll see what
Be
happens
fine.
there. We'll see
Be
what
fine,
happens
man.
there. But this is going to be the start of a new section.
Ooh!
I decided that after winning the 365 trophy, because I am the champ.
Belt, it's not a trophy.
The belt, yeah, the 365 belt of Champion World.
Where is it, by the way?
You know, I'm ready for Conor McGregor now. I'll take him on. You know, he's on a losing streak. So I decided that I was going to, instead of doing that thing where we give bad movies, which, by the way, you'll be getting a bad movie anyway because you lost the 365 title that I'm the now champion of. I thought, why not do sort of a TV show? Why not throw TV shows at each other and see who sticks with them, see how we get on with them, see how we feel about them, do a little review on them. And I decided to call it Binge-worthy, yay or nay. So basically you go away, you watch as many episodes as you can. If you give up on it after the first episode, which you might, then you just don't watch it and you say, no, it wasn't binge-worthy, Kev, you're a fucking asshole.
I'll probably say that anyway, but...
I think you're going to like this one. I've chosen an actual decent one.
Wow.
So I told you about this a couple of days ago, so I told you to prepare. Basically, I'm going to give you a series, you give me a series,
Yep.
We'll watch as much as we can, and then on the next main show, we'll talk about it. Because a new segment every now and then freshens up the roster.
Oh,
It's nice to have something different. So did you come up with a TV show for me?
I did. The TV show I'm going to give you, don't worry, it's a good show. It's got Peter Capaldi in it, who plays Doctor Who, but
Doctor Who.
don't hold that against the show.
Is he playing Doctor Who?
No, he's not.
Right.
No, he's
You're
not.
not gonna
He's
give me Doctor
swearing.
Who, are you?
He's a sweary, ranty motherfucker.
Like Alan Partridge?
Like me. No, he's worse than Alan Partridge.
I think I know what you're going to say.
It's funny as hell. It's got a great cast in it. The show is called The Thick of It.
Right.
It's a show about British politics, and
Oosh.
I know. But again, don't.
I don't even vote.
I know
you
you don't
know
vote.
this about me.
But it's just basically how they're a bunch of bumbling idiots. And
I can get behind
after you watch the show, you'll think that all politicians are like this.
I think that anyway, so...
So the show is called The Thick of It. It's on Netflix.
Right.
It's fucking hilarious. Capaldi is brilliant in it.
Right.
So that's the show I'm going to give you to watch.
Excellent. I look forward to sitting down and possibly only watching one episode of it.
I don't think you will. I really don't think you will. I think
Because the whole concept is it has to be something that we think we will both like.
I think you'll like it. I really do.
Right.
I really do. And if you do make it to the final episode, there are 4 series of it.
Oh.
There are 4 series, and then they finished it after the 4th series because it kind of the writers are either smart as hell or they're kind of can see the future. But like the final season, the final series, because it's British, came out at the same time as the whole inquiry with the phone hacking and stuff like that. So the final series is about, it's not hacking, but it's about like sort of private, like leaks within the different politicians leaking information and all that kind of thing. But Peter Capaldi in the final episode has a fucking, on the last episode we spoke about monologues.
Yeah.
This man's monologue in this scene, my God, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So I think you will like it.
Is Tom Burke in it as well? Because he's pals with Peter Capaldi, as we know from the time we spoke to him.
Well, we're buds with Tom Burke now.
Segue all day.
And David Prowse, well, I am. I think you'll like it, the thick of it. Give it a try.
I'll give it a go. Hopefully I do. It's based on like an old series, isn't it? Was there not like back in the 60s or something?
No, you're thinking of House of Cards.
House of Cards.
Yeah.
All right. I'm an idiot then.
House of Cards is an American remake that actually worked. It has got an American kind of counterpart by the same guy called Veep. You might have heard of it. Veep.
I've seen a little bit of Veep with Julia, what's her face from Seinfeld?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is fucking hilarious as well.
I've seen
same,
some of that.
Same writer, same director. Veep is brilliant.
As
but
funny?
It's not as funny as the thick of it. But I love Veep, but it's still not as funny as the thick of it.
I'll give it a watch. Because I have to now. It's part of the show. The show that I decided to go for with you is Gotham. It's not Gotham. It's Legends Tomorrow. No, it's not Legends Tomorrow. You got beef for Legends.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we might cover that in a minute. Basically, this is a show that I watched a few years back. I'm sure I told you about it. There's been a few different series. In this, it's an Australian show. It's called Underbelly, and I don't think you've watched this, have you?
No, I've not watched that.
And it's basically all about the crime world in Australia, the underworld. Basically, one family. It starts off in the first series, the Moran family, and I think you'll really like it. It's kind of like Sopranos, but not nearly as polished as Sopranos. Like it's quite gritty. It's quite realistic. But the thing about it is that it's a true story. It's 100% true. Obviously, for a TV show, they exaggerate certain things. When the series came out, the trial for the people who are in it was still actually going on. So basically, there's a couple of characters who are literally called Mr. X and Mr. Y. And at first I thought, that's a pretty cool name for a gangster, Mr. X and Mr. Y. But it's not. It's because they were called, like, what was it? Suspect X and Suspect Y in the court trials. Because they couldn't use their names, obviously, because the case was still going on. I think you'll love this. It's one of the shows that I absolutely love. And the fact that it's a true story. And I think that's kind of what the Americans are doing now with this OJ thing. The People versus OJ.
I'm loving that, by the way.
Was it American Crime Story?
Yeah.
That's basically what this is. They're taking a real-life crime story and they make a series out of it. Apparently, they were getting that much grief at the time. These cases were still going on. Like... People were still up in court or in prison for this, so it was like, you can't... Like, I will have to download it for you, because I don't think you can get it on Netflix or anything like that. I think they showed it on FX a while back, so you may be able to get it on catch-up or something. When you have that in your head, that it's a true story, it's fucking brilliant, man.
Okay, cool.
And I do think you'll enjoy it, I do. You probably won't watch another series after that. But the movie...
Yeah.
Badass movie that you are going to be watching. It's a movie called Turbo Kid. Now, have you ever heard of Turbo Kid?
I have heard of Turbo Kid. I've never seen it, though.
You are going to fucking love this movie.
Really?
It is batshit crazy.
Like Biodome, love this movie.
No, you're going to love this movie. I think you'll have the same feeling as when you watch The Room. You'll be like, oh man, I cannot fucking wait to talk about this movie. Is that a good thing? It does have one thing going for it, apart from being mental. Fletch from Wentworth is in it.
Okay.
And we like Fletch.
Oh, you're liking the Australians tonight, aren't you?
Yeah, I didn't actually realise that until I'd kind of said that, yeah. And Fletch from Wentworth is in Underbelly, but not that series. He's in like a couple of series afterwards.
Right.
Honestly, Turbo Kid, I ain't going to say nothing about it. I want you to watch it, come back, and just...
Okay.
Just gush over it.
And just remember this, my friend. When I when I win
If you win.
this title at WrestleMania.
Is that what it's going to be? Is it we're going to pick the winners for WrestleMania?
We're gonna predict once they actually let us know what the card is.
Aye.
We're gonna predict WrestleMania, similar to what we did with the Oscars.
Hopefully we'll get more than one between us.
Hopefully we will. I'm challenging for that motherfucking title at WrestleMania, bitch. We're the main event.
I'll defend that.
We're the main event,
I'll
and I'm
defend
taking
that.
that title.
I'll defend that.
And I've got a movie for you.
It's not going to be as good as Turbo Kid, though.
Believe that.
Believe that. So, on that, oh man, when I listened back to that last episode when we did the Talking Heads, I was in fucking hysterics. When, when Michonne knocked the lassie down. We go, oh no, you didn't! Oh no! I was sat there almost convulsing on the couch. And Lindsay was just like, it can't be that funny. I'm like, honestly, Lindsay, like, she'll never listen to it because she doesn't listen to any of these. But I was convulsing. It was just like, shit. Yeah, I think we were borderline.
Be fine. What are you going to do?
I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Blake from the History of Bad Ideas. And we'll get back to your regularly scheduled program here in just a second, geek listeners. But we do a weekly podcast called The History of Bad Ideas.
Yeah, well, we'll discuss things like television or movies or music or games or any other thing that falls into our geek-related podcast knowledge.
You can find us on Geek Life Radio, Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, or Radio-Blitz, Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, or you can listen to us whenever the hell you want on iTunes and Stitcher.
Check us out. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
We're on to our final section then.
Let's crack on with the final section, which is...
So let's talk wrestling.
This is your baby.
Let's talk wrestling then. I'm so excited. I finally got a wrestling segment on 365Flicks podcast. Exciting to have a wrestling segment. So, as we said earlier on, we're going to be talking wrestling intros. We've got a little bit of feedback to go through later on. Yeah. No feedback from Brigger, though. Who's a wrestling fan? This is upsetting to me.
But at the end of the day, we are, what, 4th in line or 5th in line?
Well...
I think every time he does an episode, we go further down.
Apparently we're lined up for an episode in May.
Psh, like that'll ever happen.
Psh, bitch, please.
Pigs might fly. Yeah, oink, oink.
So we're talking about our favourite ever wrestling intros. Kev is going to be doing. It's a boot. Body.
Is that your Brigger impression?
Kev's doing his favourite of all time. I'm keeping it current. I watch more wrestling than you do, so
to be fair, my all-time list, there's like 4 of them who are very current anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm just more down with the kids than you are. But we'll not talk about that.
Oh, spotlight. Stranger danger. Wow.
Fuck?
That went dark.
The actual fuck.
So...
Right, so I normally start, so let's go with you. What's your number 5?
My number 5
of all time
is...
Dear, he's not prepared.
I am prepared. I've got them all lined up. My number 5, and he's in number 5 purely because you told me if I didn't put him in here, you were going to slap the shit.
I was going to have a hissy fit.
Yeah, you were. So it is pretty much one of the best ones. It says it all, so I'll just play it.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the looks that drives a girl wild. I've got the moves that really move them. I said chill up and down their spine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy.
So where does that theme tune rank next to I'm an ass man? Because that's quite like... I don't think I've ever listened to Shawn Michaels' theme tune properly.
Fuck Billy Gunn. It's Shawn Michaels.
He's a sexy boy.
He is a sexy boy.
Yeah, you basically said you wanted me to have either DX or HBK.
Yeah.
So I gave you HBK because I'm not a big fan of the DX theme tune, if I'm honest with you. Nah, not really.
No.
But I do... Shawn Michaels is cool, and I prefer it when he's coming down the ramp when you get the visuals and he's doing like the sort of the muscle thing, and he's being all HBK.
Yeah, you can do that about as well as I can.
Well, I'm not a very muscly person, am I?
No, neither am I.
So yeah, I gave you HBK literally because I couldn't actually figure out who I wanted at number 5.
That's fine, I'm happy with that.
Although I do have a tie for number 4, so that makes no fucking sense.
You can Hobie it.
I might Hobie it.
I'm happy with you Hobie it. Not fucking Shawn Michaels is awesome. He is my favourite wrestler ever. We're talking about coming back to do another wrestling themed episode with the guys from BHP,
who I literally just got a
so
Facebook
did
message.
I've not read it yet because I'm distracted.
Basically asking when we're recording.
We've got a few ideas for a wrestling episode with those guys. Yep. But fucking Shawn Michaels, he's awesome. He's great.
He is awesome, and I do love the DX days. I was never a big fan of his of the DX intro, but I do love DX because I love Trips and I love HBK. Can we call him Trips? Or is
I'll let you away with Trips.
Right. Okay. So that's not being vetoed like
but
Neeks.
Not Neeks. Never Neeks. Never that. So yeah, my number 5 from All Current and that. I did actually think of Hobie in it because I kind of had Seth Rollins in the number 5 spot.
I like a bit of Seth Rollins.
But I fucking...
When's he coming back?
I don't know. He's a bit fucked. I think I read the other day that he's coming back quicker than people think.
WrestleMania?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
He's one of those people that I did absolutely hate. Just before he got injured, maybe like a couple of months before he got injured, I was like, Seth Rollins is pretty badass. I actually quite like him.
He's fucking awesome.
I do like him.
Yeah, he's great. But so I did think of Seth Rollins' music in this role, in this spot. But yeah, these guys are awesome. The theme music itself isn't that great, but it's just the start of the theme music, and they're just brilliant. So it's The New Day.
My eldest will thank you for this because she loves this.
Oh, Miami! Don't you dare be sour! Clap for your 2-time champs and feel the power! It's a new day, yes it is!
The New Day. Oh, they're fucking great. I love The New Day.
Again, Seth Rollins syndrome. When they first started, I hated them. Now, I just think they're amazing. I do actually think they're amazing.
When they first teamed up, they didn't have any of this shit going on. They were a little bit bland and a little bit like, I'm fast forwarding that shit. I've not got time to watch that crap. But when they started, they're fucking great on the mic.
Oh, they are fantastic on the mic.
And the three of them are brilliant together. As you heard there, they're the 2-time champs, 2-time tag champs. And they're just funny as hell. They're great on the mic, and they're fucking great in the ring as well.
The thing is, as well, right now, like whenever because normally I just tend to watch the pay-per-views and I dip into Raw every now and then. You don't see another tag team, although they get challenged all the time. You don't see another tag team who would be worthy.
No, well you've got a couple of other tag teams in there.
Good ones, though.
Like the fucking Luchas.
Oh, fuck them.
And then the fucking Usos. Ugh.
Yeah, really fuck them.
They're boring. They're fucking boring.
We're related to The Rock.
Everybody's related to the fucking Rock. So what's your number 4 of all time?
My number 4, I'm going to do this one on the fly. So
right.
my number, I've been flip-flopping all day on my number 4. My number 5 was always going to be HBK. My number 4 was a choice of 2. It was the New Age Outlaws. Oh, you didn't know is probably the best way to open a theme song ever. But then this one, not only is the music badass, but it starts badass, and the fucking words are awesome, and he's just a beast anyway. So it's Randy Orton.
Voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got jewels in your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when
that's like full-on rock song level intro.
That is a good song. That is a good song. As I said to you before we started recording, I had that song downloaded. And I used to have a bloody like a playlist kind of thing. That was in there. That was a
Of course it was. Of course it was. It's just, I have voices in my head. They talk to me. I love all that, man.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
My impression,
that was
my
spot
impression,
on.
or
I
didn't sound like Cartman.
Well, you
alright?
did. Was that actually, ironically, a better Cartman impression accidentally than?
It was. When you got challenged to do a Cartman impression, it was like fucky as shit. It was terrible. That was awesome. You were so on point there.
See, I'm fucking nailing this motherfucker with the impressions tonight.
How you doing quite well tonight? The beer's taking effect. So yeah, Randy Orton. I love Randy Orton. I love his theme song. There's only a couple of wrestlers who have full-on rock intros, and his is one of them. So who is your number 4?
So my number 4 from current wrestlers, this is a guy from NXT. I believe he's coming up to the main rosters after WrestleMania.
But he's been in the main roster, hasn't he?
No.
Has he not?
No.
Really?
No, he's not. He's the NXT champion at the moment.
He's in the game.
He's in the game. And one of the reasons I chose it was this intro is actually my wrestler's intro in the game. But he's a cracking wrestler, and it's Finn Balor. Awesome.
That's quite rocky as well. It's quite badass.
It's unusual for me. Normally like Rick Astley and stuff.
Rick Astley and Beyonce.
Yeah.
You don't get much of that in the old. Apart from I'm an ass man.
I've got one coming up later on that's going to be a little bit Beyonce-y.
Oh God.
I know. Finn Balor's. When you hear his entrance music hit, you just know it's.
Does he always have the paint on and stuff? Or does he wrestle like that, or
No.
does he wrestle normal?
It's like it's only sort of on the special events that he does it.
Right.
Because it's kind of a little bit Undertaker-y, kind of. Where like when he does the big special entrances, it's like as the demon,
right,
sort of thing. Normally he comes down with like a leather jacket sort of thing, and
right,
all that.
So is he possibly going to be taking over the Undertaker sort of demon role? Or?
Not yet. I'd rather see Bray Wyatt doing that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So Finn Balor, cracking wrestler, and I hope he does come up to the main roster.
He probably will. If he's in the game. He's in the game, so I can see it.
But lots of people are in the game.
My number 3, I just fucking love this. I absolutely love this. I love the man. I love the theme song. It takes me back to when I was like 13, 14, and me and my brother Jamie, we used to sit up and we used to wait for the wrestling to start at like 2 o'clock in the morning on SmackDown. I've mentioned it before. And when this guy came out, I knew I was in for a good fight, but not only that, it was just a fucking awesome intro. Yeah.
You don't need any explaining of this guy.
I don't need to introduce it.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
Yeah, just to explain to people who are listening to the show just what happened here for a second. Kev turned into a full-on DJ.
Full-on DJ?
Full-on DJ. The head was rocking. The eyes were closed. Yep. Fair play.
I love The Rock. I love Dwayne Johnson.
He's a fucking legend, absolutely, through and through.
I love the movies he's doing.
Baywatch.
Looking forward to Baywatch.
I'll watch it. You know what? Seal the deal. The Hoff is going to be in it. Although there was no other way in hell the Hoff wasn't going to be in that movie.
The Hoff's going to be in it. The Rock's in it. Zac Efron's in it. I'm kind of quite big on Zac Efron. I'll champion that kid right now. He's doing some good stuff. But my fucking God, you've got The Rock in there, man. Have you seen the pictures that he's posted on Instagram of him and Zac Efron working
with the
out?
tire.
Fuck
I saw that, yeah.
Those two are like jacked to shit. Like,
Well, it's a Baywatch movie. As we all know, lifeguards in
come on.
California are all shaped like The Rock. So
Did David Hasselhoff have guns like The Rock?
No, but
No.
Fucking
Mitch Buchanan.
Oh, we don't knock Mitch Buchanan on this show, motherfucker. You take that back.
But I'm completely with you. I'm looking forward to that movie. I love The Rock. That was one of my favourite intros ever. I always looked forward to when The Rock was coming out because, as you've just said, New Day being good on the mic, The Rock is insane on the mic. It's strange though because his acting career took that long to take off because he was shit in movies, stuff like that. Was a Scorpion King?
We'll not talk about the Scorpion King, but obviously his big break was The Mummy Returns. But he didn't do shit in The Mummy Returns. He was just there waving a sword about,
and it was terrible CGI.
Yes, yes, it was. So really, I mean, his first major role was what? Walking Tall?
Yeah,
which he was good in Walking Tall. Walking Tall was good. And
the one he did with Sean William Scott, the Welcome to the Jungle.
Yep, that was good as well.
That was alright. He was in Be Cool with John Travolta.
Yes.
He was quite good in that. Basically the James Gandolfini replacement. Yeah, he's not done that many amazing movies. I mean, San Andreas is a fucking exceptional movie. Can't wait for the sequel. But The Rock. So that was my number 3. What is yours?
So my number 3 it's another guy that's kind of, messing about between the two. He's on NXT technically, but possibly coming up to the...
Showing a lot of love to the NXT, isn't he?
Yeah, I fucking love NXT.
Was he not in Rumble? He was in the Rumble,
He was at the Royal Rumble, yes he was. And he came onto Raw during the week there. And I'm hoping that it's going to be him versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Is he that good?
Oh fuck, he's a cracking wrestler. He's a cracking performer. Basically, similar to Finn Balor when his music hits. It's just fucking awesome. It's Sami Zayn.
That sounds very much like a Real Big Fish song.
A what now?
Remember Real Big Fish? Did that sell out with me? Oh yeah, sell out with me tonight. The record company's going to give me lots of money and everything's going to be okay. That's what that sounds like.
I have no idea what you're going on about.
Badass. Fucking brilliant. I love it, but that's totally what it reminds me of.
You know what it is? Just listening to that just now, it's unusually optimistic for me. I love that song though.
Yeah, it's not your normal Adele
it's
thing.
Not, is it? It's not like all like hello,
whiny.
Yeah. Aye. Shut the fuck up. Sami Zayn's awesome though. He's fucking cool.
I like that song. That's a pretty good song. But literally all I thought of was Real Big Fish.
I have no idea what
I'll play it after the episode, and you'll be like, yep. They probably wrote that song. So, anything else about Sami Zayn? He's cool. So, my number 2 is... It was absolutely no way this wasn't going to be in it. I remember when he went out injured, I think it was the time when his bone popped out of his leg.
No, it was his leg muscle tore apart
was
from
that one?
Basically just went away from his bone. That's what happened. And
we'd been watching for weeks, and he hadn't been in it, and I had no idea he was coming back.
Oh, it was months, man. It was months.
And this intro, this VT came on, and me and Jamie were sat there looking at each other. And there he was in the middle of the ring, and you had that Creed song. Remember Creed?
I do.
Remember Creed?
I do.
Remember how fucking awesome Creed were for 2 minutes? And you had that song, like, My Sacrifice playing in the background. Like Evanescence. He's all like, all my injuries, all my heartaches, all my losses, and these are all my sacrifices. And I wouldn't give none of them back. And then you got like the Creed song, like "When You Are With
Yep.
Me." Oh man,
I watched it as well, mate. I remember
how
it well.
fucking awesome was that VT? And I thought, you know what? There's no way they can beat this. When Triple H comes back, there's no way they can beat this. And then he came back to fucking this, and this was the first time I'd ever heard it. And yeah, it's the Motorhead version of the game, and it's fucking amazing.
So just set the scene. Just set this, because you start speaking after it. So you've got Creed. It's got like a VT with Creed saying, "When you with me."
Remember that song? You know what it is though? I went out the next day and I bought Creed's album on the strength of that, because I was like, I must hear more Creed. Biggest mistake I ever made, because I was just depressed for weeks listening to that album. It was like, oh my god, he's got nuts now. You know, the lead singer of Creed, he's got nuts. He thinks the government are like actually out to kill him.
Wow.
Like, he's gone fucking Scott Stapp, I think he's called. He's fucking a lunatic now.
Did he fuck her kid?
I don't know.
Then he's not as bad as that other guy from that other band.
Probably did, but
whatever.
Yeah, they done that, and then it was WrestleMania.
No, this was on Raw.
When Motorhead played it live?
They played it live at WrestleMania.
They played it live at WrestleMania, aye.
But like,
He
when
came back on
he
Raw.
came back on Raw, after months and months and months and months being out, and you had the Creed going, "When you with me."
You're gonna take the piss
exactly
off
like
once
that.
there.
And then people were in the audience and at home going, "Triple H is coming back," and then
Time to play the game. Time to play the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. All about control, and if you can take it, all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about pay. And who's gonna make it?
Let's be honest.
that was good.
It's going to be a long time before anybody. I mean, obviously, I've got a song above this, but there's no way that wasn't being number one for me, and we'll get there. But fuck me, this song is something else.
Oh, yes.
Like, for a wrestling intro, it was something else. And the first time I ever heard it, I went fucking nuts. Like you say, the arena went nuts. I went nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It was the return of Triple H.
But I love Triple H. I've always loved Triple H.
Yeah, he's always been amazing. He has. Like, from the early days when
he gets a lot of shtick now because he's married to the boss's daughter and he's kind of in charge and all that. But no, people go on about him burying talent and all that kind of thing. Oh, fuck off with that shit. Fuck off. I think he's he's been in the business a long time. I've got the WWE Network. I watch quite a lot of documentaries about different wrestlers. There's a good Stone Cold one. There's a Shawn Michaels one, Undertaker one, Triple H one, and what have you. What I picked up was that Triple H is the only one, like Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels, whatever, was put to the top of the business and didn't lose his shit. HBK, I know he was all battered to fuck, and then he got addicted to pain meds, and then stronger stuff, and then he lost his shit. Stone Cold he was the man. He was carrying the company. He saved the company.
Did you not get to the point though where he was refusing to lose to people?
He refused. He was put in. He walked out the company because he was put into a match with Brock Lesnar, and he was asked to lose cold. So there was no build up. It was a cold match. So he said, like, surely this is like a pay-per-view. I'll do it, but surely this is a pay-per-view event, not a Raw event. And so he said, I'm not doing that. And that's when he walked out. And he was like, there was a lot of stuff where, there was a lot of stories where he was apparently, allegedly, hitting his wife and drinking and stuff.
It was Deborah, wasn't it?
So, Stone Cold lost his shit.
No.
But Triple H was the one, from what I've picked up anyway, is the one who I'm fucking loving every single second of this. I love this business. I love this shit. And
what it is? Even now, even though, like you say, he takes a load of shit, he seems to still fucking love it. And again, he's another one who, on the mic, even when he's being a dickhead, is amazing.
But he always made a better villain than a good guy.
He always does, and he needs to stay that way. And it's just a shame that they pitted him against Roman Reigns, thinking that was going to turn everybody onto Roman Reigns, and all of a sudden everybody loves Triple H again.
Did you watch that sequence? That was amazing.
It was.
As soon as he did No, he was beating fuck out of him on the table and all that kind of thing, and he got a broken nose apparently, but it was because he had to have surgery on his nose anyway. As soon as he did the crotch chop, everybody was supposed to be. They wanted everybody to be cheering for Roman Reigns. As soon as he did the DX crotch chop, it was Triple H. It was fucking brilliant.
But I said that to you when he came down in the Rumble, and he came down like second last.
Oh man, I was fucking buzzing.
And I was sitting there thinking, oh, okay, so Triple H is going to win this. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then as soon as he put Reigns over the top and then crotch chopped, I was like, fucking get in! I was like, it's Triple H, you know?
I was watching that live. I watched Royal Rumble live. And I was speaking with Brigger and Joe from Another Damn Wrestling Show. And we were sort of, we're speaking back and forward throughout the event. When he came out, when that music hit, similar to what we spoke about with Creed playing, and then it's like, fucking Triple H! Because at that point, it looked like fucking Roman Reigns was going to win it.
Yeah, it did, aye. They kind of he'd stayed the course, and then they fucked him off for a good half an hour, and then brought him back to win. So yeah, it looked like he was going to win, but Triple H coming out was just awesome. And as soon as he put him over the rope, and then it was just fucking brilliant. It's just a shame that the guy that they're trying to make the figurehead, they just fucking can't. Nobody can buy him.
I don't know what the deal is. I mean,
they basically need to turn him into the villain.
They need to turn him into... you know what would be good if they turned him into a villain and then put him with Paul Heyman?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'd buy that. I'd like that. And I'd like to see Ambrose be the one that makes him the villain.
So my number two, it's she's not in NXT, she's in the main roster now. It's a women's wrestler. Who knew?
See, we're not sexist on this show.
No, not racist, but not sexist.
Not at all. Not at all. Racist, not at all.
She's talented as hell. She puts on fucking some absolutely cracking matches. Before
Is she as good as Paige?
She's better than Paige.
Yeah,
she's better than Paige. I like Paige. British girl, you got to support her.
Aye.
But this woman is better than Paige, and it's Sasha Banks.
I like a bit of rap.
I love Sasha Banks.
I like a bit of rap in my...
Did you see what I meant about a little bit Beyonce-y?
It is a bit Beyonce, but it kind of felt a bit more like Rihanna-y. I kind of thought Rihanna was going to be like, come on, boy, rude boy, get it on. You know that song?
Wow, I do know that song, yes. I do.
Was that not a good one?
Of course I know that fucking song.
Of course you do.
I'm not going to do the impression of that.
You bought it on iTunes, didn't you? Fuck off for your Cartman. You're loving your Cartman impression tonight.
Because it works for the first time ever. It actually works.
It's like, oh my god, it's working. Let's milk it. So, Sasha, I don't know much about Sasha.
I love Sasha Banks.
Other than she looks like a Kardashian. That's pretty much the only thing I know about her.
Don't put that name in there with her.
Really?
Oh, she's fucking awesome.
Is she the boss?
Yep. Oh, you should go there. That's right.
I wasn't just picking that with thin air.
Aye, Sasha Banks, she's talented as hell. Hoping she's going to win the title at WrestleMania as well.
Oh, she is, because they can't let that fucking freak have it for much longer. She is a proper freak.
She is, she's more man than I am.
Oh, well.
Fuck you.
Yeah, she is.
Fucking hell. Okay.
So before we go to our number ones, you've got poop shoots.
Oh, I do. Have you got any honourable mentions while I'll do this thing?
My only honourable mention really was the New Age Outlaws. I had that on there. There's not really that many other ones. I had Y2J at one point because I do love Break the Walls Down.
See, I was surprised that wasn't in there.
From back in the day. It was nearly there. It got pushed out. I used to love that tune. And the only other one that I wanted to have, Mamacita.
What's wrong with that? Was it good
Eddie
intro?
Guerrero.
That was a good
I used to love it, but I don't know.
You not got...
If I'm not going to have Y2J, I'm not going to have Eddie Guerrero.
I thought you might have had, No Chance. That's what you got.
Who's that?
Vince McMahon.
No, I chose a better one.
I know. Yeah. Anybody
let's be honest, my number one isn't a surprise.
No, it's not. Anybody who listened to the last week's show, for me, like current ones, I said Seth Rollins earlier on, Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler as well. So poop shoots wise, Devin Snake Oil Comics said Pomp and Circumstance, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Which was
before my time. What?
But you're aware of Macho Man Randy Savage?
I'm aware of such a thing.
So shut the fuck up.
I'm aware that there's a man called Macho Man Randy Savage.
First time chipper winner Jimmy Riggs said Ultimate Warrior.
First time chipper winner.
Yeah, that's the thing. Don't question me. Oh, and we had some input from Doctor Number One.
Oh, stealing Hobie's fans.
Oh, I know, right?
Ooh, a bit ahead of that belt. Crack on.
Jesus Christ. Vince McMahon. Yep.
Short but blunt. I like it.
John Rufford said Edge.
Edge. What was Edge's? Was that You Think You Know Me?
Yeah.
Oh. Fucking, why did I do that? Why did I do that voice? Right, see you, we are fucking Cartman, right? Crack on.
Triple H, Steve Austin, and Billy Gunn.
M&S man.
M&S man. Yeah, the lads from Berwick Free Trade B Team, best pool team in Berwick. Allegedly said. So Aaron said Kevin Owens. This was his current one.
Right.
Kevin Owens, Sasha Banks, John Cena, Dean Ambrose, and Brock Lesnar.
I wanted Dean Ambrose, but it's too current.
It's not of all time. Well, you could have had it all time if you wanted to.
It's too current.
He also said Ultimate Warrior.
I thought he was like 10. Does he know?
People know things. People know things. He's a wrestling fan.
Okay.
Yeah. So he said Shane O'Mac. Paul Byrne seconded that. But I volunteered him to say DX because I knew you weren't going to put that in because you're an asshole. But he also said Edge as well. And I think that's about it for the poop shoots.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought we might have had Kev Wright coming in with Grado.
There was no Kev Wright. There was no Kev Wright. There was no Brigger, who is a wrestling fan, which is upsetting.
Oh well, I'll tell you
what.
But
you know the thing is, I said earlier on, I've got Finn Balor's entrance music on my wrestler on 2K16. You just know he's got King of Queens music on his wrestler.
Definitely. His favourite wrestler probably is Kevin James, and Here Comes the Boom.
You know, there's apparently an app. I don't think it's available here, but apparently there's an app where you can to connect to the 2K16 and take a photo, like a selfie of yourself, and it does like a Photoshop version of you on the game. Do you think he's got like a
Kevin James?
Kevin James as his wrestler?
He's not even taking a selfie of himself, just Kevin James.
So because he wants to be Kevin James so damn bad.
Oh man, he does, doesn't he?
And that's why he's got the fucking King of Queens intro music.
You know what it is though? I feel quite bad because I listened to the new episode and they didn't really give us much shit. So although they did put us like back of the queue.
I don't care.
Right. So that's the poop shoots done. We're going to go to my number one.
Go on then.
Which I'm not even going to introduce because nobody is seeing this as a surprise.
And just before you do it, the reigning, defending 365 Flicks champion of the world.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money,
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, got the chatter. You ain't talking money, then your talking don't matter. Ching, ching, bling, bling, patent pockets. We take the dollar, dollar, can a damn soul stop it. Here comes the new kid on the block. Hold on your bets, here's where the buck stops. See, first of all, I'm stepping out on my own. About time I elevated to claim my own throne. Success in my blood, call it homegrown.
That one's going on a bit longer than usual.
That's fine, don't worry. And by the way, I expect that to be repaid when I fucking take my title off you.
Okay. When you take my title off me.
When I take your title off you. What?
Which then still essentially is my title, just you have it for a little bit.
That'll then be my title.
Okay.
Bitch.
Okay. I thought I would try and baffle you because you've had a few drinks.
Yeah, shut up.
No surprises. Shane McMahon, I loved him back in the day. I was absolutely fucking ecstatic when I saw that video of him coming back. I couldn't believe Shane O'Mac was back on the WWE. I was just like, oh my god, I am a child again. I put it straight on the YouTube. Lindsay called me a sad act. You know, she doesn't get it. Yeah. She really doesn't get it. But there's nothing sad about watching, what is he, 40, 50?
40-ish.
There's nothing sad about watching a 40-ish guy in sneakers and a suit fucking dancing about the top of the ramp the way he was. That was amazing. And he's still got it. He's still got the swing. He's still got the jumping around. Shane O'Mac, man. Legend.
Him versus Taker, apparently at WrestleMania.
You know what? Him versus Taker, I'll buy that. I'll buy that every day of the week.
I think that's the perfect match, because Taker's fucked.
Taker is fucked.
It's not going to be his retirement. That'll be probably
No.
next year or something. They might stretch it out to 35, I don't know.
And I think Shane O'Mac he'll sell that fight. No matter what happens, he'll sell that fight. Because Shane O'Mac...
There's talk of him bringing in Goldberg or something.
Fuck that shit.
Fuck that shit.
Just let him fight him. I mean, the Shane O'Mac fight with Kurt Angle, still one of my all-time favourite fights ever. You know, when he tried to throw him through the glass.
Yeah.
But it was like perspex instead of glass. Oh, man.
Because apparently that was Vince's fault.
What a bastard.
Well, not directly. He didn't, go,
Do you think he was like behind stage going, wow?
He bought me a shit present for my birthday. Put real glass in there.
You're fired.
What the fuck noise was that?
I don't know. It was him wanking and then climaxing. I don't know. We've been talking about thunderclaps. Come on. What is your number one?
Okay. My number one, on the current roster, this guy is fucking awesome. They need to be putting him on in the title picture.
I think they're kind of wasting him a little bit.
They are wasting him.
I totally agree.
I love the whole family thing. You know, they've got their sort of faction. There's been talk of them bringing Sister Abigail in.
Oh, so it's an actual
person.
person.
You know how his finishing move is Sister Abigail. They've been talking of actually bringing Sister Abigail in. Now, I kind of have a theory. They've taken Paige off TV. Can you imagine Paige in that role?
Well, why would they take her? Why? She's Paige.
But imagine they put her into a Sister Abigail. Still still Paige, but I've been Sister Abigail all along, so I have, kind of thing. You know? No?
It's not going to work.
That could work.
Plus, they're from the deep south, and she's from Liverpool.
Yeah, she's not from Liverpool.
She's like, all right, kid.
London.
I'm Sister Abigail. It's not going to work, is it?
Ooh, no. She's not Liverpudlian, goddammit.
Is she not?
No!
Manchester.
Maybe Manchester.
She looks dirty enough to be from Manchester.
Yeah. Pale.
Bit skanky.
Pale enough. Bygones. So it's my number one intro music from right now. This guy needs to be champion. It's Bray Wyatt. I'd love to be in one of the stadiums when they... You've seen his intro, right?
When they do the fireflies and stuff.
When they everybody puts their camera phones on.
It's badass, isn't it?
It's awesome. It's fucking
it is
great.
badass.
It's fucking great.
It's that kind of... You remember Dust Till Dawn? I think it was like the Once Upon a Time, the third one. No, what was the second one? No,
I've no idea.
I'm thinking of Desperado with Antonio Banderas. That song sounds very much like a song in that, and it's awesome. I love that kind of the guitar. I love it. I love it. It's a wicked tune. His entrance is probably the best of the lot. It's kind of theatrical, but it works.
You know, they were kind of a couple of years ago. They were kind of setting him up as the next Undertaker sort of character, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Although, did you ever check into it? I'm sure I read somewhere that Bo Dallas is his real life brother.
I think so.
Is that true?
or brother or cousin or
They
somewhere.
kind of look alike a little
Yeah.
bit. Take away the beard and take away Bo Dallas's like.
I read a
face.
similar thing. I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, I read a similar thing.
It's a bit of a strange coupling, really. They could be a good tag team. Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas.
No. No. Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
He's fucking great. He needs to be champion.
Sooner the better.
Yep.
Ambrose and then him. Give it to Ambrose first, and then let him have it for a
Well,
while.
they had some good matches.
Yeah, they had some great matches. That whole storyline, even though it got really fucking intense, that whole storyline was amazing. I loved that. When he was kind of like, you're my boy, and all that. Oh, man. Because his videos are great. His little, they're fantastic. With the, and then like he's creepy as fuck. Like, not as much as Braun Strowman though, because he just looks like a massive man-child.
Yeah, he's weird looking. He is weird looking.
He looks like a child in a man's body. Like his head is just like a child's head. It's weird.
Like Beetlejuice.
No, not like Beetlejuice. You finally got your wrestling section.
I did. I'm happy with that.
You buzzing with that? You happy with that?
It was good. And I've nailed my Cartman impression.
You have nailed your Cartman impression. I think when we do when I win when I what do you call it when you defend your title and win?
Title defense.
When I defend my title and win, that's going to be your next thing. You are going to have to bring back the Cartman.
Oh no, I can't do it on demand.
Oh, you're going to have to.
Oh no,
you're going to have to now because you've just shown me how great you can
That
be.
was an accident. When there's pressure, I can't do it. You get the stage fright, Kev.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to do it. I'm sorry. It's not up for debate.
That's been episode 32.
It's pretty much it. Yeah, it's episode 32 in the bag.
Solid.
We've got our talking heads done. We've done the top 5 wrestling theme tunes. That was awesome. We got some news in at the beginning. That was lackluster. Wasn't much to talk about, really.
Not really.
Nah.
Apparently, there's a big Civil War trailer being released tomorrow.
I see that they've released the running time. It's coming in just under 2.5 hours, and apparently it's like very it's very Cap 3, as in it's not Avengers 2.5. They're saying it's extremely it's very much a sequel to Captain America 2. What's wrong with that? It's a Captain America movie.
Yeah, no.
I kind of get the feeling that the whole Civil War is just the name. It's not going to be anything to do with the Civil War that we know, and it's just a name.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's not going to be. I have been rereading the Civil War graphic novel, but I know it's not going to be anything like that. I know, but Spider-Man's going to be in it, so
so you're not bothered.
I don't care. I don't care.
That's been episode 32. If you want to find us, obviously you're listening to us right now, but we're on the iTunes, we're on the Stitcher, we've got videos on the YouTubes for the Blab videos, we're on the Blabs on Monday or Tuesday night, just depends when we can be asked. Player FM, TuneIn Radio, all those things, all that good shit. We're on the networks, we're on Weeby Geeks, we're on Wicked Radio Network, Tangent Bound, Nerdly, Geeky Antics Network Global. Yeah!
I'm bored of hearing you speak now.
I am fucking bored of saying it.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
What we should do is we should record all that and then I can just play it at some point during the episode. Then I don't have to say it every time.
Yeah.
But then we'd probably lose half an hour of recording just playing that one bit. 365Flicks. Have a look for it. I'm Kev.
I am Chris.
And that's episode 32.
That's about it.
That is about it. You like to end it on a good Canadian impression.
Yeah. Jobs are good.
Aye.